Oh my god. I want to show them.
The brother Ahmaud Arbery is slain. Chase.
Oh my god.
And Tariq Nasheed uses that as a promo opportunity to sell some fucking pepper spray. Damn. And for all the shit he talks about tethers, FBA this, FBA that, nigga, why is it named Ogun juice? That's an ancient African deity. That's an African Orisha. God damn it, he's Pan-African to sell products. But then on Twitter, it's fuck tethers. Okay, all right. That's an African Orisha. God damn it, he's Pan-African to sell products. But then on Twitter, it's fuck tethers. Okay, all right. Let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next one because, Lord, I can go on a 2-hour rant just about that last clip we just saw alone. That shit is wild. That shit is disgusting. But God damn it, let's see something else that's damn near just as disgusting. Somebody made me privy to a clip that he made a few years back where somebody asked him about reparations. Guys, we all know on his Twitter spaces, people call in speaking against our reparations claim, saying UFBAs are just begging, UFBAs are just going to trick off the money and buy Jordans and buy rims. And what does Tariq Nasheed say modern day? He says it doesn't matter. Cut the check. It's due. It's owed. It's promised. Cut the check. It doesn't matter. It'll stimulate the economy. Cut the check. Cut the check. Cut the check. Cut the check. But God damn it, I found a video of Tariq Nasheed here saying the same thing the white supremacists say. You niggas too dumb to balance a checkbook. Y'all niggas shouldn't get no reparations. Oh, Lord. Have y'all seen this video of Tariq Nasheed speaking
They shouldn't have never gave you niggas money.
against us getting reparations?
Just okay, he said, what do I think about slavery reparations? Yeah, there should be reparations, but there's a way that we need to do it because black folks as a whole mentally will fuck up any kind of money that's given directly. There has to be some type of structure to it. If you start giving niggas, let's say every black person in America will get $10,000 next month in January, that niggas will be broke again on January 15th. It has to be organized. You cannot give niggas money right now. They'll fuck it right back up. They'll give it right back to everybody else. Going by June, shit. It'll be gone in 15 days. Just like lottery, exactly. Just like lottery winners. Most lottery winners, they go broke in 5 years. Just like that Dave Chappelle comedy skit. That's what messed that money up. What they need to do as far as reparations, they should have, it should be a designated plot of land or somewhere in middle America, somewhere where there's good fertile land that should be given, that should be tax-free, that should be regulated to male-headed households. That's my suggestion. They should get a plot of land somewhere where there's very fertile ground, fertile land, and it cannot be settled unless it's a male, a black male who's the head of the household. We can't have no single mothers on that motherfucker.
Damn, I forgot. We too ignorant to balance a checkbook. We shouldn't get no cash. We should just get some land, like a reservation, if you will. And single mothers don't get no reparations at all.
All right, let's run it back so people don't say we're lying about this shit.
It's fuck tethers. Okay, all right. And Tariq Nasheed used to do. The brother Ahmaud Arbery is slain, chased down by 3 white dudes, a father and a sons. And Tariq Nasheed uses that as a promo opportunity to sell some fucking pepper spray. Damn. And for all the shit he talks about tethers, FBA this, FBA that, nigga, why is it named Ogun juice? That's an ancient African deity. That's an African Orisha. God damn it, he's Pan-African to sell products. But then on Twitter, it's fuck tethers. Okay, all right. Let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next one because, Lord, I could go on a 2-hour rant just about that last clip we just saw alone. That shit is wild. That shit is disgusting. But God damn it, let's see something else that's damn near just as disgusting. Somebody made me privy to a clip that he made a few years back where somebody asked him about reparations. Guys, we all know on his Twitter spaces, people call in speaking against our reparations claim, saying UFBAs are just begging, UFBAs are just going to trick off the money and buy Jordans and buy rims. And what does Tariq Nasheed say modern day? He says it doesn't matter. Cut the check. It's due. It's owed. It's promised. Cut the check. It doesn't matter. It'll stimulate the economy. Cut the check. Cut the check. Cut the check. Cut the check. But God damn it, I found a video of Tariq Nasheed here saying the same thing the white supremacists say. You niggas too dumb to balance a checkbook. Y'all niggas shouldn't get no reparations. Oh, Lord. Have y'all seen this video of Tariq Nasheed speaking against us getting reparations?
Just again, he said, what do I think about slavery reparations? Yeah, there should be reparations, but there's a way that we need to do it because black folks as a whole mentally will fuck up any kind of money that's given directly. There has to be some type of structure to it. If you start giving niggas, let's say every black person in America will get $10,000 next month in January, that niggas will be broke again on January 15th. It has to be organized. You cannot give niggas money right now. They'll fuck it right back up. They'll give it right back to everybody else. Going by June, shit. It'll be gone in 15 days. Just like lottery, exactly. Just like lottery winners. Most lottery winners, they go broke in 5 years.
So FBA is always going to talk about that spending power, right? That spending power. They always want to flex how much they spend. And here's Tariq Nasheed telling you where that money's going to go back to. He really doesn't care about black Americans and getting what is due to them. You know, he's worried about that check, you know? So if it's in his, he's going to set the stage for, he's going to set the stage about pumping you guys up to get a check. But here he is talking about you guys getting the check and how you're going to fuck it up, how you're going to fuck up the bag.
Just like that Dave Chappelle comedy skit. That's what messed that money up. What they need to do as far as reparations, they should have, it should be a designated plot of land or somewhere in middle America, somewhere where there's good fertile land that should be given, that should be tax-free, that should be regulated to male-headed households. That's my suggestion. They should get a plot of land.
Who would just say that, right? If you're not a pimp, you know.
Somewhere where there's very fertile ground, fertile land, and it cannot be settled unless it's a male, a black male who's the head of the household. We can't have no single mothers on that motherfucker.
Damn, I forgot. We too ignorant to balance.
Trump just announced that he is expanding the H-2A visa to allow farm labor to come into the U.S. from Mexico. This is going to happen, and it's going to happen simultaneously while ICE raids continue. Not just continue, but to grow larger. And I'm not saying this to say like, oh my God, can you believe that that's going to happen? I'm saying it to say as it is fact. This is designed, it is planned, and we know this because it has happened before in the United States history. I introduced to you the Bracero program simultaneously happening with Operation Wetback. Trump is sort of coining it as being called the touchback program, which means that undocumented immigrants could either come back or stay in the United States if their employer vouches for them. This new adjustment would lower wages for anybody on the H-2A visa, and it would also allow farmers to supplement housing and food instead of pay. So why do I say that these are happening simultaneously by design, the ICE raids, and this new whatever Donald Trump is proposing? You would need to look back at the Bracero program. So the Bracero program was extremely lucrative to farmers, but it was also extremely harmful to the farm workers. It was just slavery waved with a golden ticket. Slavery by the illusion of choice, really. Farmers figured out that, if they got desperate people into these positions, then they could really just keep them there. But like it or not, the Bracero program was still a type of a legal system, a visa, meaning the people who signed into the Bracero program were legally trapped. Once they agreed to be a part of the Bracero program legally with the U.S. government, they were subjected to just horrific things. To even enter into the country, they were sprayed with pesticides. Not only were they sprayed with pesticides, it was a form of public humiliation. They had to strip naked and be sprayed with chemicals that severely hurt them, killed them, made them sterile. They were forced to take baths in these pesticides. And that was step one, so obviously we can imagine what happens next. They became legal slaves to the United States. And it wasn't like they could just leave. They couldn't just run away. They couldn't even go back to Mexico. But then what happened is things started getting a little rowdy at the border, as the white Americans would say. We were losing control of our borders. Farmers and just anybody that needed labor, they decided that, hey, we want this cheap labor too. If you can make it over the border, then we'll hire you. Also now it just opened up some lines of communication between the two countries after we had just finished the Mexican repatriation, which sent back hundreds of thousands of Mexican people who many were never even in Mexico. They were United States citizens. I have a whole other video about that if you want to watch it. But now the U.S. government is sort of raising an eyebrow and they're saying, hold on, we only like you here if we could enslave you. We don't want you just working. In comes Operation Wetback. Operation Wetback is, again, another brutal system of trying to deport migrants. But this time there was a focus. You would only get deported if you were not a part of the Bracero program. Remember, they didn't want the Mexican migrants to actually live here or succeed here or have any kind of freedom. They just wanted labor, and then they wanted to send them back when they were done. They wanted slaves. Do not let it be lost on you. Operation Wetback was brutal. This is a federally funded campaign. This is the U.S. government calling for this. They created what was soon to be known as hell ships. Think slave ships to transport them from one place to another. There was just horrific abuse and death. They would put them in trucks and cars that had no heating and just leave them there, where oftentimes in
Uncle Moose, I want you to listen to this, Uncle Moose. This is a Tariq Nasheed talking about reparations. All right, before he got to FBA, before he was FBA.
Man, just about that last clip we just all know. That shit is wild. That shit is disgusting. But goddamn it, let's see something else that's damn near just as disgusting. Somebody made me privy to a clip that he made a few years back where somebody asked him about reparations. Guys, we all know on his Twitter spaces, people call in speaking against our reparations claim, saying UFBAs are just begging, UFBAs are just going to trick off the money and buy Jordans and buy rims. And what does Tariq Nasheed say modern day? He says it doesn't matter. Cut the check. It's due. It's owed. It's promised. Cut the check. It doesn't matter. It'll stimulate the economy. Cut the check. Cut the check. Cut the check. Cut the check. But goddamn it, I found a video of Tariq Nasheed here saying the same thing the white supremacists say. You niggas too dumb to balance a checkbook. Y'all niggas shouldn't get no reparations. Oh, Lord. Have y'all seen this video of Tariq Nasheed speaking against us getting reparations?
Just okay, he said, what do I think about slavery reparations? Yeah, there should be reparations, but there's a way that we need to do it because black folks as a whole mentally will fuck up any kind of money that's given directly. There has to be some type of structure to it. If you start giving niggas let's say every black person in America will get $10,000 next month in January. That niggas will be broke again on January 15th. It has to be organized. You cannot give niggas money right now. They'll fuck it right back up. They'll give it right back to everybody else. Gone by June, shit. It'll be gone in 15 days. Just like lottery, exactly. Just like lottery winners. Most lottery winners, they go broke in 5 years. Just like that Dave Chappelle comedy skit. That's what messed that money up. What they need to do, as far as reparations, they should have, it should be a designated plot of land or somewhere in middle America, somewhere where there's good fertile land that should be given, that should be tax-free, that should be regulated to male-headed households. That's my suggestion. They should get a plot of land somewhere where there's very fertile ground, fertile land, and it cannot be settled unless it's a male, a black male who's the head of the household. We can't have no single mothers on that motherfucker.
Damn, I forgot. We too ignorant to balance a checkbook. We shouldn't get no cash. We should just get some land, like a reservation, if you will. And single mothers don't get no reparations at all.
What a pimp would say, right? Anyways, that's Tariq Nasheed. We found a clip. You know, the internet never dies. Talking about reparation. When we talk about that spending power, right? That spending power that you guys love to flex on people. There's your leader telling you this is going to go back into YT people's pockets, you know? And it's so funny because I do want to play that clip alongside the other clip where he was presenting a speech. I think it was in Chicago or somewhere like that, where he's talking about, you know, cut the check. We just want a check. We don't want anything else. We don't want to be in control of our banks. We don't want to have our own neighborhoods. We don't want the money circulating back into the black economy. We don't want anything besides cutting a check, you know? And then here he is telling you guys about how you're going to spend the money. So he really doesn't care about building up black communities, you know? Like Claude Anderson, right? The guy that termed the term foundational black American. He was talking about bringing the black dollar back into the black economy and talking about how immigrants are pitted against black Americans and talking about how black Americans are going to be the fourth class, you know, because they're pitted against. But he wasn't hating on immigrants. He was just saying how Europeans pit immigrants versus black Americans. And it was very telling because he said there are no black communities. There might be black neighborhoods, but you don't have a black community unless you have three things, you know? And here, let me not butcher it up. But he talks about you know, a code of conduct, how to treat black, like amongst black Americans, how we supposed to treat each other, how we should be we should have elected representatives. Very valid claims, by the way. All right, and I don't really hate on Claude Anderson, but Claude Anderson never saw what was happening. Never thought that his idea was going to turn into an ethnicity now proclaimed by somebody that was ADOS, right? Turned FBA, you know, and trademarked FBA. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, where is it? Go ahead, Uncle Moose. Let me find this clip. Go ahead. I got a restriction, so we're limited on people for 10 For 10 minutes, we're limited. But we got FBA Steppa. Man. Big FBAs in the house, man. They do be following you. Let me see if I can find that clip.
They keep following me, bro. Like, they keep following me.
But did you see that? Did you see that clip of Tyreek talking about reparations, Uncle? Did you get to listen to that?
Ask what thoughts about Tariq Nasheed. Is he about education? I would suspect that you would kind of lump or place Tariq Nasheed, boys or Johnson or someone like that. Am I correct in assuming that?
The fact that Tariq Nasheed has any status or standing in any black circles is an indictment of black people. This piece of shit said that slavery was better for black women than it was for black men because the black woman could give up some pussy and manipulate the slave master. Man, fuck that dude. And anybody that watches his movies or has anything to do with him. I mean, you're disrespecting our ancestors and you're disrespecting yourself having any level of affiliation. I don't think he's even anybody worthy of discussing. Fuck Tariq and his pimpology and all that other nonsense. I've never seen any of those goddamn Hidden Color movies or that gay erotic film that he made, you know, trying to deal with his repressed or unanswered desires or whatever the hell's going on in his sick mind. I think this dude should not be able to dwell in any black spaces. I think it is tragic and it is enraging to me that this man has any statement, judging from many of the statements. That's just one of many unacceptable things that he's said. Many. And what's going to happen is, which it confuses the hell out of me, Tariq is going to say something to run afoul of the feminists. He's going to say something to run afoul of Jewish people or the Zionists. He's going to say something to run afoul of gay people. And when he gets canceled, there are going to be a number of black people to stand up and say, well, he said all these horrible things about blacks and didn't get canceled. As if we expect those other communities, many of which are hostile to us, to have more respect for us and to protect our dignity before we do. This is one of them pieces of shit that should have been canceled before gay, Jews, or anybody else ever heard of them. They should have already been persona non grata in our community. But then when other people say, well, we're not going to take disrespect, what are we doing? Asking other races or other communities to take the disrespect that we're willing to take? Or asking them to defend our dignity before they defend their own? Or as we fail to do so? So if anybody, I mean, I hate that dude's name come up. And I don't think his name or his physical presence should be allowed anywhere. It's just amazing to me that we've allowed some black men to build entire careers on disrespecting African women, our ancestors, and the overall black community. I mean, I ain't saying he is about the capital, but he shouldn't be able to get money over here. You know, he can go make minstrel films with white folks. He shouldn't be able to do anything related, but this dude is going to raise money and have a museum. That is low racial. We have low racial esteem. Our collective esteem, there's something fucking wrong there. He shouldn't be able to show his goddamn face, you know, in any place where dignified, conscious black men dwell.
Amen.
Damn, that guy cooked.
I forget his name, man. He's a good brother. I forget his name. I have to look it up. This is just a clip of what he said.
You said we have a restriction?
We do for 10 minutes. Yeah. It's been, let's see. It's been We have a minute. We have 2 minutes. 2 minutes. We'll get back in.
Okay.
They're nothing but a whole bunch of disingenuous, delusional, anti-information, and anti-intellectuals. I said it. So I found myself on an FBA Live yesterday, which was Monday, and I found myself on the FBA Live on Sunday. They invite you up just so they can speak over you. They will say one at a time, right? Do not unmute. But all their asses will unmute so they can dogpile on you. So that video with the orange shirt is from July. Let's watch something. For them, we will call them that. Look at that dirty ass Haitian over there. Them niggas hate that shit. They used to hate that. Look at them dirty ass Haitian. Look at that dirty ass Haitian right there. That's what we used to say to them. Sunday, if not Sunday, was Saturday. I came on here and I said that I'm happy that a lot of this is going on. And I said that specifically because I was on that guy's live July of last year, probably July 16th. I think it was Sunday. I came on here and I said that I'm happy that a lot of this is going on. And when I said that on a live, and I also said that in my video, like I got DMs like, oh, Lina, Swabdila, Bugisa, right? I like that this is going on because a lot of these Black Americans who have been lying for sports is exposing themselves. This gentleman right here, I was on his live July of last year. How do I know? Because the date of this video. When I had the orange shirt on, I started that video because I just came off of his live. And he called me a liar. He said that what I was saying on his live never happened. That shit was not going on in Miami. For him to just come back a few months later and admit to every single thing. You guys are some habitual liars. There's a reason why your hairline is receding. And instead of cutting that shit off or take your ass to Turkey, you decided to cover that shit up as if people don't know that your hairline is receding.
She's going off on that. I want red. I have a clip from Tariq Nasheed talking about reparations. I need you to hear this.
All right.
Okay.
Red, how's it going?
Finding you, brother. What's going on? I just woke up.
Why is it named Ogun? That's an ancient African deity. That's an African Orisha. God damn it, he's Pan-African to sell products. But then on Twitter, it's fuck tethers. Okay, all right. Let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next one because, Lord, I can go on a 2-hour rant just about that last clip we just all know. That shit is wild. That shit is disgusting. But God damn it, let's see something else that's damn near just as disgusting. Somebody made me privy to a clip that he made a few years back where somebody asked him about reparations. Guys, we all know on his Twitter spaces, people call in speaking against our reparations claim, saying UFBAs are just begging, UFBAs are just going to trick off the money and buy Jordans and buy rims. And what does Tariq Nasheed say modern day? He says it doesn't matter. Cut the check. It's due. It's owed. It's promised. Cut the check. It doesn't matter. It'll stimulate the economy. Cut the check. Cut the check. Cut the check. Cut the check. But God damn it, I found a video of Tariq Nasheed here saying the same thing the white supremacists say. You niggas too dumb to balance a checkbook. Y'all niggas shouldn't get no reparations. Oh, Lord. Have y'all seen this video of Tariq Nasheed speaking against us getting reparations?
Just some game. He said, "What do I think about slavery reparations?" Yeah, there should be reparations, but there's a way that we need to do it because Black folks, as a whole, mentally will fuck up any kind of money that's given directly. There has to be some type of structure to it. If you start giving niggas, let's say every Black person in America will get $10,000 next month in January, that niggas will be broke again on January 15th. It has to be organized. You cannot give niggas money right now. They'll fuck it right back up. They'll give it right back to everybody else. Going by June, shit. It'll be gone by in 15 days. Just like lottery, exactly. Just like lottery winners. Most lottery winners, they go broke in 5 years. Just like that Dave Chappelle comedy skit. That's what messed that money up. What they need to do, as far as reparations, they should have. It should be a designated plot of land or somewhere in Middle America, somewhere where there's good fertile land that should be given. That should be tax free. That should be regulated to male-headed households. That's my suggestion. They should get a plot of land somewhere where there's very fertile ground, fertile land, and it cannot be settled unless it's a male, a black male who's the head of the household. We can't have no single mothers on that motherfucker.
Damn, I forgot. We too ignorant to balance a checkbook. We shouldn't get no cash. We should just get some land, like a reservation, if you will. And single mothers don't get no reparations at all.
Hey, Vibes, where you from?
Cali.
Okay, yeah, I've been getting you up mixed up with another Vibes, and I think he's Windrush generation, European Jamaican. Not like, I don't mean to say it like that, but you know, a Jamaican that lives in Europe. But yeah, I was be getting y'all mixed up. But yeah, that's crazy for him to say that. I think he said the quiet parts out loud. So I think financial management is a concern for Black community, right? That should not be the government. The people that owe us the reparations, how we spend it, how we manage it is none of their business. Now, and I've had this conversation before. Now, if Black people feel that Black people won't manage it properly, set up financial literacy classes in the neighborhoods prior to the giving of it, and I don't insist upon
means of
budgeting
production,
and
right?
investment. Insist
Yeah.
upon it. If they don't, they don't. But I mean, if you believe in that wholeheartedly, and I do also, I would be convinced. But if I thought it was coming down the pipeline tomorrow, I would be convincing, getting with some of my friends, convincing, pay off your home. Let's get properties once this money come in. Let's invest. Let's take a portion of it and invest it. Let's get, because me myself, I would be interested in paying off my home here, turning it into an Airbnb or residual income, because that's the other thing I think we want as Black people to come out of it. Get you a residual income. If you had ideas on a business before, back your dream. Put some in the bank. Start a community. I mean, because this is a good time to do a susu on this with that kind of capital. Now you can do larger things, but that's Black people business. Start
Yeah,
that in the community. As far as the people that owed it, well, how are the people that owe you the money gonna tell you how to spend the money? Never
right,
have you
right.
went to go collect a debt for somebody. I'm like, what should I do with this money once you give it to me? No, they owe it to you. If anything, they need some financial literacy counseling on how to pay us.
Yeah, exactly. No, again, it's not like, because again, he's all about cutting the check. He's not interested in restorative justice. He's not interested in any of that besides cutting the check. But now that we've heard that clip, and this is before he turned into an FBA, right? And about how he had that one speech talking about, we're not interested in student loan forgiveness. We're not interested in land allotment. Like, he said this whole speech about how he just, he was tailoring to people just getting a check. And you're 100% right about how we shouldn't be policing or pocket watching or, policing how people spend that money. My whole thing, Red, is that this money, this currency that's not backed by anything is, it doesn't have this residual effect where it's gonna come back unless it's like in assets, right, or property. or any of that. But again, it's just we talked about this before, Red. We talked about it with Sister Smart. I think it was with Uncle Moose. Remember Sister Smart? You gave her that question about
You always get her name backwards.
Oh, Smart Sister, my bad.
Yeah.
And she eloquently stated exactly what she thought were good ideas about pouring back into the community or reinvesting in oneself. And but I agree 100%. We also talked about how reparations was already paid off to the slave owners. All these things that I feel like people are gravitating to. Even the elders, when you think about the elders that jump on the FBA bandwagon, they're really just thinking about their generations and knowing that there hasn't been a payback, from the 40 acres and a mule, and really harping on this because it is a movement to get behind because they are stressing the point of it, when other people aren't, but they do it with the whole delineation process where they're filtering out the people that belong to this timeline of chattel slavery, and not looking at the holistic approach about how all Europeans, because these Europeans in America are tied to Europe, whether they like to say it or not, and how they all owe us something. If we have a grievance, and then Sister Tika came up on and talked about other methods of solutions that could be like what is it called, the African Union thing, just other ways of putting out the message that we should be all looking out for each other, in the whole grand scheme of things about Europeans in general, not only taking resources from Africa, but also taking labor now as in cheap labor or undocumented labor, and all the things that are going to come back full circle, because Donald Trump's already, inviting immigrants, illegals to come back to work these fields that these poor farm owners, they don't have the labor, so they're gonna reenact things that have already been present in the United States, like the Borsano program, things that happened in the 1800s where they got Mexicans to do the work, for housing, for food on their plate, for the most basic means of living, to be here to work for somebody else at the end of the day.
Yeah, I feel you. What did the prompt say? I didn't even see the prompt. Oh, does America have the right to interfere in affairs of other sovereign nations? I'd say no. I mean, for me, that's actually a double-edged sword kind of question, because I'm gonna tell you why. So during the Holocaust, right? America had been known about it. America could have intervened prior to a lot of the damage that was done, and I'm not talking about the overall WARs, but even just the part that is talked about the most, right? They could have intervened and they chose not to. So the diaspora of that group that existed in America demanded it, which prompted America to get involved in it. But even other people in the country and around the world were saying that, being that they were the power at the time, is why didn't you? You have the moral obligation. But fast forward to now, now they claim, I mean, well, now and in between, I believe this morality, this perceived morality is fake. So that's why I say that it's double edged for me. Like there's sometimes I'm like, yeah, you should intervene, but it seems like they pick and choose when to be moral and when moral applies. Like just like what's going on in Nigeria. Why there? Why
Yeah.
now? Why
Spreading
didn't you?
democracy, right? Or spreading Christianity. Or,
Well, what I'm saying, why there? Why now? Why didn't you Why haven't you intervened in Sudan? Why haven't you intervened in the Congo? Why haven't you intervened in what am the place I'm thinking of? It's right to the left of Nigeria, but one more country over. I'm about to be ashamed because I want to retire there. It's
Senegal?
no, to the left.
No.
Wait, that is to the left. Actually, that is to the left. But Benin.
Oh, Benin. Yeah.
Yeah, why have in Togo? Because there's a silent G side. I mean, like all over the continent, right? Like, so you got what's going on in the Congo. You got what's going on in Sudan. You got what's going on in Togo. Matter of fact, I need to hit my brother up. He called me last night. He said, "Come by the shop, man." My Togolese brother. He said, "Come by the shop." But last time I saw him, the stuff that I posted on my page came from him about donating to the G side of the money. Why haven't you intervened in,
Right.
in other places? Why there right now? And it's quite obvious, at least to me, that when they intervene, it's not because of morality.
In their own best
It
interest.
Yeah, it's always in the best interest. It should be when you intervene because of morality, should be selfless. But it seems like you only intervene now when it's in your you said it. I can't put it no better. And when it's in your best interest, you're right.
Lucrative. Yeah. When it's lucrative for them, there has to be some other motives, that serve their best interests.
Exactly, and that's why. Like I don't think that sometimes people like notice it because I've argued with other Americans on the fact that it was like, oh, when we don't do nothing, you guys complain, and then we do something, you complain. But yeah, when you do something, it's in your best interest. You didn't do it, and as a former service member, we have one of the codes that we're to live up to is selfless service. You don't do it for reward, and that's the way I look at most things. When even when it comes to unity across the diaspora, I hear some people say, "What do I get out of it?" That's an automatic turn off for me. Automatic. What do I get out of it? For the progression of your people, that should be satisfaction enough. But you got people around the world who didn't want to know, like if the people of Ghana or Nigeria or Togo or any of the I mean, I'm descendant of West Africans, but any of the 54 countries succeed, that's success for me. That's all I need.
Yeah, and they use it kind of like a flex too, because it's like any intervention that the United States has done, in any other country that they destabilize and stuff like that, it's almost like they look at it like an aid, but they take it on their shoulders, as in like it's like we did this for you guys, right? When they're talking about other countries that are destabilized, they're always looking at it like they take on America and the military and all that as a kind of flex.
That's why it's crazy when I hear fellow African Americans, regardless of what they want to call themselves, pop that shit about black people sold black people, Africans sold Africans, and this and that, while the West, and when I say the West, we know I don't just mean the U.S. But while the West not only has not paid reparations to your people, not only because now we're talking about interest, the initial wealth that was gained off of many of these countries, to include France and the rest of them, was based off of the back of our ancestors. So there's interest involved in this. You got
And that's when
interest
when
free.
we say
You
they're
got
tethered to
interest free
white team.
labor. You got interest free labor. You walk out of. I mean, you're still in some cases in the countries, shipping out minerals, shipping out resources, and you're dropping off a pallet of rice. And that's why I'm saying, where I get upset with fellow black people that say, we over here giving you aid.
Well,
Wait a minute. Your country, our country, and the Western world countries walked out of Africa with tons of gold, tons of cobalt, tons of uranium, barrels and gallons of oil, silver, and all of that, and then they dropped off a pallet of rice. What?
And it's 1 foot in, 1 foot out, because they have all this allegiance, but when they know the atrocities happen, they go, well, that's not us, that's what we've been fighting
and I
against.
can't remember the country. I need to look it up so I can repost it. One of the countries made it illegal for resources to be shipped out of the country. And he said that the resources will be, what do you call it? Refined right there on the ground. I can't remember what country it was.
Several of them.
Are
There's
you sure?
several that
Well,
did that.
some one country said this yesterday. What are you showing me on
Uganda,
Vibes?
Uganda did it, and also Burkina.
Wait, I'm confused. Why does this say Vibes at the top?
Uncle Moose is my mod. He wants to put his props up.
Okay, so I'm still on Uncle Moose's page.
Uncle Moose is my mod, so we're part and parcel. We're
So I'm on Uncle Moose's page, right? Because if not, I'm about to restart my phone because something's wrong.
No. Uncle Moose has mod power, so he can put whatever prop he wants to put up.
Yeah, but it says Vibes up top right now.
Red. Stop, Red.
You don't have to restart your shit, Red. You're good.
Okay, so I'm still on Uncle Moose's page. Okay.
So when you're mod, Red, you can take control over the main screen.
Yeah, but it says. Oh, okay, never mind. Because I can see. No, you know what it was that Uncle Moose blended in with the background. I couldn't see it. You see, Uncle Moose is over Obama's face. So all I saw was Vibes up top, and then I'm like, the host is in the right hand corner. I'm like, something's wrong. But now I can see his name. Never mind. I can see he's on the big screen.
Red, you crazy, bro.
Oh no, I was about to because I'm like, it says Vibes in the top left hand corner and it says Vibes at the bottom, so my phone must be glitching, but now I can see your name.
I did have to restart my shit because people weren't allowed to come up. my sister up here. She was like, "Why don't I get the request? I don't know what's going on. Keep requesting up if you want to come up."
Yeah, now I see his name. I couldn't see his name before. So you know what? Let me ask a question to you, Uncle Moose. So like everybody doesn't see me all the time because I'm not always on like on this side of TikTok, and I know it's not a physical place, but on this side of TikTok it's kind of mixed. So when I'm on a panel, it can be an African panel with mostly African Americans on it, or it can be an African American panel that's pretty diverse. So I mean, you can get a mix of diaspora, but there is also a side of TikTok that I kick it on where I'm the only person that's not African, or at least continental African. And you know, I'll be popping that Pan African shit wherever I go. Um, what I notice is that a lot of continental Africans don't know what Pan African is, but they hate it. And because every time I ask, I say, "Well, do you know where Pan Africanism was born at? Do you know what Pan Africanism is? Do you know what the objectives are? This and that." And nope. I mean, one lady told me today the very mentioning of Pan Africanism makes her want to fight. And then I asked her what it was, and she never told me what it was. And then she started detailing, like, I don't believe in, and what it sounded like to me is, you know how Trump describes what Democrats want for the country? And because that's what I thought I was listening to. She's like, I don't want open borders, and I don't want people just walking into my country and we got to speak one language and this and that, and we're speaking all of these other people. I was like, who attached that to, I asked her, I said, who attached that to Pan-Africanism? But I was outnumbered in that space. And I was like, you know what? I'm tired today. I do not feel like selling this to people that just want to reject it today. But what disturbed me was when I said that when you look at some of the conflicts between people on the continent, we're talking about neighboring ethnic groups that are genetically pretty much the same people. And when you historically look at their conflict, even though conflicts existed before Europeans and Arabs, but their more recent conflict today has been instigated by Europeans. And her final words were, my enemy is not a white T-man. My enemy is another black person. And this was the sentiment of the majority of the panel. And we're talking about people across the African continent, not the diaspora, just the continent that were, and I was like, you know what, I just wasn't emotionally with it today, talking to people that was insisting on hating other black people. So I guess my question is to you, what is the reluctancy or the pushback, you think, Uncle Moose?
They don't want to learn.
That's straight to the point. You say the one word.
They don't want to learn. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I mean, like, they don't want to learn. Like, it's as easy as that. It's like the pretendians and FBAs. They don't want to learn. The people that go against each other in Africa, they don't want to learn. No, because we cannot say the knowledge has been hidden from them no more. No, that excuse don't count no more. No knowledge has been hidden. They don't want to learn. It's as simple as that.
But so the thing is that internal problems will always be. I mean, like when I'm 50, every time I hear from, and usually that kind of talk comes from people older than myself, when we solve our internal issues, then we can talk about unity. There'll always be an internal issue. Like every time I hear that we have to solve our internal issues, it to me it is like saying I just want to keep things the way that they are because there'll always be an internal issue. There'll always be in America. There'll always be a neighborhood issue, a city issue, a stateside issue, a national issue. If we're to wait till all things are checked off the list before we get to global issues,
The in-house issues, right, Red?
right? I mean, but
But
I'm insistent that we can walk and chew gum at the same time because as long as we keep focusing on internal issues, the white tea will always be beating us on global issues.
but
Red,
who's
let me
allowed
ask
to
you
call
this
out?
question. Let me
Go
ask
ahead.
you
Go
this
ahead.
question because one of the things that when we talk about these ethnic differences and conflicts, let me give you an example. I'm in Cameroon. There is no ethnic or tribal conflict between any ethnic group in Cameroon and the Akan people in Ghana. There is no
Hold
conflict
on, what are you saying?
within. I said there is no. I said I'm in Cameroon.
Uh
Cameroon
huh.
has over 200. Listen, has over
Uh huh.
230 different ethnic groups. There is no conflict with any of the ethnic groups in Cameroon and the Akan people of Ghana.
But there,
There is no.
why are you saying
Let me
that?
finish. Let me fit. Let me. I'm trying to make a point. There is no internal conflict, ethnic conflict in Cameroon with the Chiluba people of the DRC. So a lot of these problems come from disparate people who have been forcibly grouped into a nation. Okay? So and also when the resources are predominantly found in one area of the country and they're being forced to share that, sometimes disproportionately, with the entire country, and even the people who are in that particular area may not be getting their fair share or their land might be polluted or whatever. So when we talk about these internal issues, let's keep in mind that we're talking about nation states that have been designed by Europeans to cause the exact conflict that we see happening today. So it depends on how you're grouped. We don't have any problem with the Akan people because that's in another quote country. They're not in a close proximity to us. Okay?
I'm wondering why that specific example was given.
Talking about internal conflicts.
Well, okay, so because when you look at Cameroon though, and when I say ethnic groups fight that are pretty much genetically the same people going against each other, I don't know why the Khan example was given. I mean, or the Ghana example was given, but you have people ethnically within Cameroon that are pretty much the same people, genetically. I mean, not ethnically, genetically fighting over Anglophone and Francophone.
Yes, that's my whole point because they're in close proximity to each other.
Oh, this was I see. This was another panel on. Like, there's panels that I go to where I'm the only American, and I normally don't go up because I'm a guest in the house, and what they're talking about doesn't concern me. But I can learn, and I am abreast of some of these issues, but I don't comment because sometimes I do, depending on what's said. Like when I hear like a lot of times what I hear from continental Africans in continental African only spaces or majority only spaces is that don't begrudge me my right to hate another black person. It's my right. And I'm like, no. So
Red.
huh? No, seriously.
Red.
No, I'm
Red, I
serious.
swear.
I'm
Red,
like they're like don't come up. They know me over there too. They like Red, don't come over here pissing us off today.
No, let me tell
It's my
y'all
right that
something. Today,
I
Red.
wanna hate other Africans, and that's my right to do
Today,
so.
Red came on the panel and he was trying to educate this guy. And this guy's like, Red, you raised my blood pressure. And I was like, He started crashing out. Red is like, I don't even know who this is. I was like, holy shit. Oh my god. Red, you be stressing. Like, you
And
be
you know what? At the
stressing these
end, I didn't
motherfuckers
know
out.
who it was because I remember Sounds. He's a truck driver. I know that. I think he got mad at me under another name before. So he claims that I don't understand. Okay, so like saying that we're African, matter of fact, they know that they're lying. Saying that African Americans are African are not erasing our ethnicity. You're erasing our ethnicity. No, there's a hierarchy. Like saying that I'm part of, let's say I'm gonna make it up. Say the Johnson family doesn't make me less of an uncle or a brother or a nephew or something like that. And this is what these people are trying to sell me, to admit that I'm part of the overall African family is somehow taken away from me being African American. No, it's not. It's a ethnicity under African, just like admitting that you're European does not take away from your Irishness or your Germanness.
Right.
It's just
And
really
Red, we're having the same issue in the United States as we bring disparate people within close proximity to each other. The same issues are surfacing. The same issues.
who say who
The
who
conflicts, the internal conflicts.
yeah, I'm only pointing out that when I meet some of the same, because people think that I only talk to African Americans or about African Americans. I go on African panels. Matter of fact, the guy that I'm talking about, I just don't want to put it out there now to make it seem like I'm trying to talk about these people and these people not here, so I'm not saying names. But I'm actually a mod in that space.
And Red, I was on an African panel the other day, and I think there were Liberians, Ghanaians, and Ugandans. And man, I'm telling you, they were going at each other. So I know what you were saying. So nah, man, I'm not going to no Liberia. You people eat people. You smoke people's bones. I was like, what?
And
I
this is
didn't
why
hear
and I try to,
what?
you know what? I don't want to come across with a European white tea savior complex. I don't want to come across as a superior anything at all. But I feel this is how I feel, and this is what I think, this is what I believe. I believe that during the transatlantic slave trade, representatives of these groups that are saying, "Red, leave us alone, let us hate each other," as black people, were hurled together. Were hurled together during the transatlantic slave trade, right?
No, let me tell y'all something. Red will not let us hate ourselves in peace. Like, I swear.
It makes no
Like,
sense. It's the same thing. It's
and
the
this is
same.
why I
Like the
have
thing.
such, like,
You
high
know what's so
respect.
ridiculous about it? I got two families. Matter of fact, I'm gonna just say it. My mom and my sister, right? They are so much alike they cannot get along. I'm like, and everybody outside of them will tell them, you guys are mirror images of each other. And it's ridiculous. That's why you guys can't get along. So for me to watch the FBA, the Pretendians, the Dudula, the Bantu supremacists, and other just individual people that say, "Let me hate in peace." I'm like, if you guys could stand back and look at this shit and realize how much you're alike. I see African Americans and Africans acting just alike and saying, "I'm nothing like you." And it's really ridiculous when I hear African American look at themselves, and I'm not talking about it's never an ambiguous African American that says that they don't look like Africans.
Is the most freaking African looking African.
Yeah,
Like, look at
it be these
Creed. Like,
niggas
look
that
at
don't need a
Creed.
passport,
Like,
And you
you
see
could
how
really
similar
put
that don't
the
need
South
picture
Africans
ID.
and the African
you could
Americans are
literally
in
put
their behavior and
you
their
could literally
xenophobia.
put Creed and freaking or what's it called, Congo, and he would literally just blend in. Like, it's crazy to me. But that actually happened today on Gray Man's panel. an African American came up to show us his DNA test. What's his name? US FBA, right? And he was like, my FBA career is done. And I was like, why? And this man said he went through every length. He literally even tried to put a name when he sent in his DNA test. He made sure like the name didn't sound like a black, white, or anything, right? He just put like a a screen handle or whatever. And he's like, I literally made up the randomest name because I didn't want them to think I was black and be biased. Because I guess he was like a pretending FBA, whatever. And that man's DNA test came back 89.4% Nigerian. And he did not know how to even behave after that. Like, these people really, like, do you know how humbling that is? Because listen, it didn't even say like of random West or Central Africans. It was specifically 89.4% Nigerian. Like, it said Nigerian in big bold, like nothing else, right? He literally didn't even know what to do. He literally came up and he's like, this literally ended my FBA career. Because he thought he was so admixed. Like, this guy only had 3% Portuguese. I was like, look at you. That shit had me fucked up.
Oh
God, that shit was funny.
As Uncle Moose says, it's painful. It's painful, you know?
It is. Host, I think Yer wants to come up, but I'm gonna show you guys because I took a screenshot. It was so funny.
That happened with Tyrone too. Remember Tyrone?
I want you guys to answer the prompts when you're done, though.
Yeah. Go ahead, Uncle Moose. You got this.
No, I want them to answer the prompt when they are done. I'm listening. I want to join in, but I don't want to join in for just chit chat. I want to talk some. You
Do
understand?
Black American FBA hate immigrants out of jealousy, or are immigrants actually a prop? I don't think it's out of jealousy. I think globally, just like I said, black people are begging to hate other black people, and I think it's from years of not being able to point the finger at the actual person that you wanted to hate. And now that we have the ability, there's still it's just easier. I think it's just easier to hate each other. I mean, because for me, I feel like working with the people of the Caribbean and the people of the continent is not beneficial, integral to our survival. Are immigrants using the term black to steal? No, they're not. People were born black. And the thing is that I don't know where this thing came from that black immigrants or black people around the world are just now coming black. I've been going overseas back and forth since 94 and always have known black people to call themselves black. Not as we do. I mean, we're hyper fixated on race, so we always are talking about it. But I mean, Africans knew they were black. I never even thought to ask an African, "Are you black?" I mean, because it was obvious. Get out of here with that nonsense. Are immigrants sellouts for not integrating and helping to build the Black American community? So the thing is that, right? And once again, in my travels, you are welcomed by the host nation. So if Black Americans feel that immigrants should be integrating into their communities and contributing to their communities, why are you not there upon arrival with the welcome signs, the fruit basket, the fruit cake, and the Glade plugins for the new place, welcoming the people that you want to integrate into your community? That's the way that it works around the rest of the world. The people from the host nation are supposed to welcome you, and I guarantee you 99.9% of immigrants that have never been to the U.S. expect to be welcomed by their black counterparts, and in some cases are not. Dog, you better stop. And is Native American history accurate or white? Yes, Native American history is accurate. They are the true indigenous people. There's no way around that.
Hola, hola. Okay. Do Black American FBA hate immigrants out of jealousy, or are immigrants actually a problem? I think that they hate immigrants out of jealousy. Like when I actually look at it, and like even like some of the examples from like not like there was a song from 1991 called Illegal Aliens, right? That song was literally a song. The part where they're talking about Nigerian immigrants, they were literally just like trying to drag Nigerians for being educated, even trying to mock the Nigerian accent about them having multiple degrees and stuff. So it is giving very much jealous. Like a lot of the times they argue with us, it's not it doesn't like it doesn't even add up, you know what I mean? Are immigrants using the term black to steal Black American resources? No, I think everybody's kind of confused with that one, because Black immigrants have always known they were Black in our countries. No matter what, you always know you're Black, right? Even in like Canada, I literally know I'm a Black person, right? I've never ever seen myself racially as anything but Black. Like that's always been something that's been instilled in me. And Black Americans have been the only Black people in America for so long that they've like built a culture around just being the only Black people in America. So now it's like I feel like it's the two worlds are just colliding, and it's confusing everybody because everyone's like, wait, hold on, I've always been Black, and they're like, no, you haven't. Yeah. So anyways, are immigrants sellouts for not integrating and helping to build the Black American community? No, they're not. At the end of the day, immigrants leave their countries, or anybody who goes to the USA, right? Anybody who's in the USA knows that you're there to make money, right? No matter who it is, any immigrant on the planet, they go to the USA to make money. They're not in the USA to make friends. They go there to go to school, make their money, and get out, evidently, right? And we have a lot of responsibilities as continental Africans, right? Like, we have family back home, like my mom is like paying for like my cousins freaking universities and stuff back home, and like along with my sisters and mine when I was in school. So it's like we have like a lot of responsibilities. So yeah, I don't think they're sellouts at all. Like nobody came to America to be or went to America to make friends. Is Native American history accurate or whitewash? It's accurate. Yeah, that's really there's nothing more to that.
Okay, do Black American FBA hate immigrants out of jealousy, or are immigrants actually a problem? It's both. There are some who are definitely jealous. Not every African that comes to America comes here poor, okay? Or comes here as a refugee. And sometimes people who have been deprived or are poor and they see those people, they become jealous and they start wondering how they got here. Why do they have this, that, and the other? Not realizing it. Yes, some come here and they work, but others come here with independent wealth. And others come here for education, or they're sent by their governments to do certain things. Not everybody's fleeing Africa. So that notion is really, it has to be dispelled. And let's be honest, there are some immigrants everywhere who can be a problem. And I'm not going to call any particular name, but we know that there are citizens of a particular country, no matter where they go, we keep hearing that they're a problem, okay? So that's not an issue for all immigrants, but there are some. And in fact,
Mama,
even
Mama,
illegal
if you want to
immigrants.
say Nigerians, just say Nigerians. If you plan to say
No,
just
you don't have
You
to.
are
No,
sick.
you don't have to. You're gonna
just
start
Not saying
crazy.
Nigerians.
You're gonna start You're gonna start.
They're gonna come here and flock you,
I
madam.
know, right?
Yeah,
Again, we all have people that are problematic within our communities.
that's
Period.
right. That's right. So that's just an issue. Um, and then even if we want to break it down, even within a particular country, you may have a subpopulation that's more problematic than another. Okay, are immigrants using the term black to steal black American no. If you look at the forms that are designed by the whitey people who control this society, until the next census, they did not make room for anyone to identify as anything other than what they've put on that form, unless they use other, and then, or they understood to use other because they didn't want to offend, FBAs or whatever. But the delineation in the next census will be more clear so people can really identify nationally and ethnically who they are. But the
They
U.S.
won't have
government
a they won't
already,
have an FBA like on the voting pool making sure what they mark.
You know what is so
right?
funny? So they put like for the
I,
2030 census, I was reading
after
it.
Ashley goes, you can land your point, sister.
Yeah, I'm so
Go.
sorry, Lenise. I just really, really think it's really interesting. So I feel like it was like a slap in the face in FBA, like a slap in FBA's face because they still have black, but then under it, they just have all these like different ethnic groups. So like everybody's still black. And I feel like a lot of FBAs were really upset about that.
hmm Yeah. So they have to identify the way the forms are structured or constructed. It's as simple as that. So nobody's here trying to steal anything. And if people want to talk about stealing American resources, America and Europe, they take 500 billion out of Africa every year. And if even the whole African continent had that 500 billion for 1 year, that they could totally transform that continent. So I don't want to hear that stuff about stealing resources. They stole us and we were a resource, okay? Are immigrants sellouts for not integrating and helping to build Black American communities?
Damn. Hold on, let me give you a little applause for that one. We were the resource. Go ahead, sister.
Mhm.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, Europeans don't come here to help white people. So why do you put that responsibility and burden on immigrants who are black to come here to do something for your community? You've been here for 400 years in the most powerful nation in the world, and you've had vastly more opportunities than other people. If anything, you should be trying to help those other nations build themselves up to the level that you have within the U.S. What do you mean? No, they're not sellouts for doing that. They come here for specific reasons, and nobody signed on the form that, oh, I'm going to go to America to help African Americans or Black Americans. No, forget that. If you happen to get here and you develop something and you want to integrate into that community, or if you plan to stay here, you can do that out of your own volition, but it's not an obligation. Okay. Is Native American history accurate or whitewashed to hide true indigenous people? No, it's pretty accurate. And here's the thing: we don't really know how many different Native American ethnic groups existed in continental United States. All we know is
Over
that there were
500.
100. Okay, so all we know is that there were 110 million of them that were unalived to take over the continental United States. So part of the history is true, but some of it is not whitewashed, it's hidden, it's archived away because we don't know every individual ethnic group that has been wiped off the face of the earth. Okay, we don't know that. And so it's partly accurate, but it's partly hidden. Okay, partly hidden. And I land there.
All right, thank
So
Yeah,
you,
a lot of
sister.
indigenous people. Oh,
So we
I was
know
gonna
that
say,
there were over 500 indigenous tribes within the
Yeah, I know
50
Red was gonna step in. I was
within the
like,
continental United States. But what we do know is that none of them were black.
Yeah. Also, a lot of when you say the continent of the United States, I'm guessing you guys mean like North America, like everybody. So I'm just go
Yes.
based off that. So a lot of
Including
the
Canada.
indigenous, yeah, they're like mainly in Canada. Like we have like a very large number of indigenous people in this country. Like they're everywhere, and there's like 110 tribes. Like it's wild. There's a lot of them.
All right, thank you guys. Uncle Moose, I know you want to respond to a lot. Let me invite Eve up. Hi, or Ever, or Angel.
And
How's it
yeah,
going,
Red.
Angel?
None of them are black.
Welcome to the panel, Angel. If you can introduce yourself, and if you want to respond to anything that's been said, or speak on the prompt.
I'm at work.
Oh, okay. Don't worry about it then. Don't worry about it. Uncle Moose.
Vibes, I don't know what's going on with your
What you mean? Don't worry about it.
She's at work. She's at work.
Oh, she's at work. Oh, I thought.
Yeah, she's just listening in.
Well, Vibes,
Okay, Uncle Moose,
I don't know.
put your
Doctor No
antlers
Job.
on. Okay, Uncle Moose, put your
Vibes.
antlers on.
I don't know what's wrong with your request.
Put your tinfoil.
They did not even agree with each other. You know that, right? IC did not agree with Red. Red did not agree with Lonice.
I thought they were all on the same page, but call it out. Call it out, Uncle.
You are not on the same page.
Yeah, I didn't agree with Red on the first question. Yeah.
So let me answer the first one. Do Black American FBA hate immigrants out of jealousy, or are immigrants actually a problem? So again, back to like Claude Anderson talking about like immigrants being pitted against each other, and him knowing that it was part about the working force, the labor force that's gonna, take on the brunt of working for pennies on the dollar, if not undocumented, because as soon as they're undocumented, they can be taken advantage of, just like trafficking people, right, for whatever labor, whatever sexual trafficking incidents that there are. Black Americans / FBAs, is it jealousy? Again, a lot of these people that talk about what Black Americans did for everybody else under the 14th Amendment, and them feeling like I hate to sound like white people, even though I sound like a white man. I hate to say it wasn't your, like, when they say, like, and I totally disagree with this, about like, well, you didn't go through slavery. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you didn't put in the work that your ancestors put in. Like, you didn't have the same fucking heart as the civil rights leaders standing up for everybody, if that was their true intention. And a part of all that, they like to say it was all for immigrants too. But I remember 21, you went meticulously through how that wasn't for immigrants, and you asked them, like, what did you do for immigrants? Because they think they did a lot for immigrants based off that 14th Amendment, who not only white people legislated, but also white women were the first ones to get any reap the benefits off the 14th Amendment, right? We're talking about civil rights, let alone human rights. But also European immigrants, the first wave of them. And then lastly, but surely, the recent Africans, they got all the smoke. The Mexicans, they got the smoke first, right? And them saying that they're not going to be a part of this, they're going to be couch potatoes. I'm not telling people to put themselves in harm's way, but you can't also proclaim and announce how you're not going to help people, that are the ICE agents, that entity, how it's going to affect them sooner or later, because they say we're not going to get deported, we can't be deported, so they use it as a flex. But at the same time, seeing how ICE agents are just like the police officers, no-knock raids, detainment, which has happened to Black Americans, unalivings that happened to a Black American, okay, by ICE agents. All these things that you don't have the same heart as your ancestors that did have the heart to to march for something that is, you know, when you see injustice, right? So, but again, the 14th Amendment was open to everyone, just like it is now for naturalized citizens to get citizenship, let alone birthright. And now you redefining what the 14th Amendment is about and listening to fucking Trump talking about the 14th Amendment was only for the children of slaves. Well, how the fuck did your German ass get in here?
Well, hold up. Let me intervene. Let's get some. So the
You
14th
wanna
Amendment
invade?
was instituted for the newly freed slaves of African descent to make them citizens. But the verbiage does make it apply to everybody. So these are the things that you should know about what gives you the right to vote, what freed you as a slave, what made you a citizen. So you have the Dred Scott decision. The Dred Scott decision says the Constitution does not
So why did
apply
they
to
use that
any of
verbiage?
those pretty much that are formerly enslaved. I mean, formerly enslaved or
Red,
enslaved
you
individuals.
think it was a mistake that they used that verbiage?
No. Actually, I don't. Because the thing is that well, no, and let me tell you, actually, everything the white T man used in the Constitution, far as verbiage, they never intended for it to apply to certain demographics of people. But when you start realizing that people are 99.9% similar, then it gets ridiculous because the Constitution was initially only intended for white T land owning males, right? But then when you say mankind and realize that it doesn't apply only who's mankind, when you start saying who's human, and then when you go so mankind is equal to human, and then when you start saying who's human, then you start saying, oh shit, black people are
I
humans,
think
are
they did
black,
that
and
on
then you have the
purpose too.
debate whether
3/5.
then you have the debate whether black people are really human. And then
I,
then at one point in history, when they let you know that black people are human, they're still not considering Native Americans human. They even start considering Asians
I see.
human.
Shut up.
They even start considering Asians human at a certain point. Native Americans are still not considered human, or the Constitution is not applied to them. And then at another point in history after that, they in California, they tried to make Asian people, after they've already said that the Constitution applies to them, they try to throw Asians in the category with Native Americans who the Constitution don't apply to. So when it comes to that verbiage, I think that it was always meant to only include white tea Christian land owning males, but then the evolution of knowledge lets you know. So again, what people have to
So that
know.
means we as black people, we are tethering to the 14th Amendment.
Say again.
That means black people are tethering to the 14th Amendment.
Well,
Well,
so
no,
it's not
Red.
just
Let me
the.
get your Red. Like back to what I was saying about Donald Trump saying that the 14th Amendment was for the children of slaves.
It
Like you,
was.
okay. So when that was enacted, right? It was meant for them, right?
Yeah.
But everybody was inclusive. Everybody got in there, you know, in that
Yeah,
in that amendment.
because what's the verbiage?
What is the verbiage? Is
The
it
verbiage is
It said,
any
it said
person, any
anybody born
person's.
in America
born
and
in this
anyone that
jurisdiction thereof?
naturalized.
Yeah, born in the jurisdiction thereof, which means
Yeah.
even the Puerto Rican territories, the Guam territory, the military installation over in Germany, the territories thereof, right? So
Right.
persons is what makes it. So when people
So
say
legalese, Red. So legalese language, right? There's
no,
a
I don't even
doctrine.
like that. When you say legalese, I think of fucking
Well, Red, that's what you're talking about. About
no.
persons?
No,
You're talking about
yeah, but
Red.
when you say
I'm just saying,
I know
yeah.
what you mean, legal language, but when you say legalese, I think of Moorish doctrine.
Oh no! Don't think about that. Just think about the law. Think about how there's legalese language, like if okay, so there's layman terms, right?
Yeah,
But when you
but I
go,
mean, but
no,
persons
I'm not
that
getting on the Moorish. It's just like a lawyer. Lawyer knows legalese. A lawyer that knows how to navigate through the courtroom, talk to the judge, and you have things called color of law. You know what I
But when
mean?
you say okay, so the thing is that though that amendment was intended for for the recently
For
freed
the
slaves.
property. So if the slaves were property, Red, you hear me?
No, I don't.
So so you ever heard of that saying where it's like you are what your mother is, and the way white people did this is because they didn't want to take any responsibility for the kids they bore with black
No,
women.
that's because of slavery in perpetuity. You are what the mother is. So if the mother's a slave, the child's a slave. Had nothing to do with white people not wanting to take responsibility. It was about slavery in perpetuity.
So 14th Amendment. What was it? What was the 13th Amendment, Red?
Oh shit! I was already unmuted. 13th Amendment. Matter of fact, that's what I was about to lead up to. When you take from the Dred Scott decision that the Constitution does not apply to those formerly slaves or free or people even from Africa in general, then you go to the 13th Amendment freeing the slaves, 14th Amendment giving anybody persons born within the territory thereof citizenship, 15th Amendment giving you the right to vote, the 1866 Civil Rights Act, the 1870
thought the 14th
Naturalization
Amendment
Act, and this is
said
what most people
naturalize.
this is what most people don't know about the
Amendment
the
said
1870
naturalize.
Naturalization Act
Okay.
specifically tells you who the 14th Amendment is talking about. And what does it say in the 1870 Naturalization Act? Africans of nativity and Africans of descent. It tells
How
you
can you explain
specifically
something that
who it's talking about. So when black people talk about that I can't be deported, you can't be deported because you were made a citizen and naturalized just like immigrants were.
Okay. Before Uncle Moose responds, I do want to say that the 14th Amendment was available to everybody. Like, even though it may be intended, I guess I don't want to believe Donald Trump because he's using
No, it's
this.
the
Okay,
14th Amendment was
even though if it's a truth, Red, let me just say this. That it still included everybody that was born here, right? So they got their naturalization through it, and then the birthright, right? But I feel like they
didn't. That's why you can't rewrite history because you feel like it. Because at this point in history, even after the 14th Amendment, Native Americans are still not citizens.
Okay, so the Constitution, right, was a Native American thing. That they really whitewashed the whole amendments, the Constitution.
Brother, you
it was
are
a
wrong.
Native.
Stop rewriting
Am I
history.
wrong? Am I wrong about that?
Yes. You mean
Okay.
you mean did they get the basis of how they wrote the United States?
Yes, that's what I mean.
Yeah,
That's what I
they
mean.
did, but
Yeah.
but you're going off into left field somewhere.
No,
At the
but
time of the
my
stop
thing.
trying, brother.
I'm not red. Just let me land my
The
point, bro.
14th, no, because you're trying to sell it like
I'm
this was retroactively applying to everyone. At the time of the 14th Amendment, when they make black people citizens of the United States, Native Americans are not.
So, okay, I get that part, Red. You're 100% right. You know, they're not part of that jurisdiction for a reason. And when I said property, that's what I'm saying. The intention of them writing that wasn't in our best interest. They weren't like, again, they're the ones that legislate the amendment. I mean, we were boots on the ground. They did the work for it because the world was looking at how white people were treating black people in America. It was done out of force. But the 13th Amendment read abolished slavery, but it also had an exception. Okay, and the exception was to be re-enslaved because slavery never ended in America. And if they were able to criminalize you for anything, talk about Jim Crow, black codes. This is the whole thing that happened afterwards.
Just jumping around now.
Listen, Red, just listen. They can re-enslave you. That's how easy the 13th Amendment was still.
So that's not.
But I love you just passed over that though.
That's not
I have to highlight
not
that.
what we were talking about. That's
That's
not what we're talking
Red,
about.
that's what I'm talking about.
No, that is not what you were talking about. You were saying that Donald Trump. You said Donald Trump was wrong in saying that the 14th Amendment was intended for those coming out of slavery.
Children of slaves.
And
Yeah.
he was absolutely right. I love to call him wrong when he's wrong, but he was absolutely right on that fact.
So this is why Black Americans are calling us anchor babies. This is why they're doubling down on birthright citizenship right now, because they think that's going to be taken up. This is why we see all the fucking rhetoric about this current administration and how people are pushing all this anti-immigration shit. That's why.
Well, I mean, okay, so wait a minute. What are you saying? You're saying that if we don't admit that truth, it feeds that just because we're admitting that
Just that
truth,
Donald Trump said it was the truth, I don't believe it.
it is a truth. It doesn't matter what you believe; it's the truth.
Okay, so the 14th Amendment was for the children of slaves. That's the only reason why the 14th Amendment exists.
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna
No,
come
but
back.
it says materialize it.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, that's why it exists. But the verbiage makes it apply to everyone. Because remember, like I said, if it was true to its words, if that was true what you're saying, that would have meant Native Americans would have been citizens at the inception of the amendment, but they weren't. When did Native Americans
That
get
is
citizenship?
They're not part of the jurisdiction. Only
Yes, they were
property
because
is.
God First Nation.
listen. I know what you're trying to say, but you're wrong on that count too. Because not all Native Americans were on reservations and under what do you call it? Native American governments. I know what you're talking about, but you're wrong there too.
I
Red,
said
I'm not
First
saying you're
Nation.
wrong. I just have questions behind it. I'm not saying you're wrong.
Yeah,
I'm still learning. Okay,
well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're saying
but
that.
don't think that I'm
No,
assuming
no. I agree with you. I'm just saying we have to be factually correct. And if I'm wrong, I'll read it and be like I'm wrong. But the thing is, all Native Americans had not made that move to Oklahoma, and all Native Americans are not under what do you call it? Under the separate government, right? But they still were not citizens. Because our Native, hold on, you matter of fact, don't Native Americans hold dual citizenship? Now that's a question. Don't Native Americans hold dual citizenship, tribal citizenship? Not all, because not all are under tribal citizenship, but hold American citizenship and tribal citizenship.
That's why I said the God First Nation.
The who nation?
First Nation. The
Well,
same
First
way
Nation
black
is in
people got
Canada.
it is all the way down, bro. It's all the way. Yeah, I know what you mean, but the concept is all the way down. That is why the reservations stretch
What
all
kind
over
of
from
tea is
Canada all
that?
the way to Mexico.
What kind of tea is that?
Come again?
What kind of tea is that?
Tea?
Yeah.
What you mean tea, bro?
Are you drinking tea
I think
or are you drinking coffee?
I ain't drinking shit, bro.
Are you gonna spill the tea or what?
No. I thought I heard somebody drinking tea. I heard the spoon hit the glass.
Man, you
No,
speaking all this
bro,
AAVE,
I'm
Red.
eating. I
Like,
ain't
come on,
drinking,
bro.
bro. How you drink with it? You know what? F that. It's okay. I'm eating. I ain't drinking.
Again, the Native Americans are not recognized as citizens. This is what they're
I just said that.
yeah, but you're saying they're part and parcel or dual nationality or
Yeah.
what were you
Okay.
saying?
So the thing is that Native Americans. When do Native Americans get United States citizenship?
They don't. They have to
They
assimilate.
Google
They
it.
have to
Please
give up.
don't
They
shoot
have to
from the
give up
hip.
their
Please
nativeness.
don't shoot from the hip. Google when do Native Americans get American citizenship. Don't shoot me what you think.
1970?
Google it.
1970?
You're
Yes.
asking a question that you're asking me now to Google.
Yeah, because
We
you're
all were
wrong.
wondering. We're
Because
all
you're
wondering.
wrong. I want you to learn it.
I'm trying to learn, but you asked the question. You're
Yeah,
posing it.
Google it and come back and tell me the answer because
That's
you're
good,
not
Red. If
taking.
you already have the answer,
No, because
please
you're
save
not
us the
taking
time.
my word
Save us
for
the
it. So
time,
I
Red.
want you to look it up. So
Red,
it's
I
not coming
thought
from
you
my
were.
lips.
I thought you didn't know. I thought you were
No, I
actually
do
asking
know.
genuinely.
I do
All right,
know. I want you to find out.
nah, Red.
What
Since
you
you
mean,
know,
nah?
do they have dual nationality or not?
No, I'm saying when look up when they get citizenship.
2001.
No, it's not 2001.
They
Are you gonna tell us now?
okay. So 14th Amendment, Red. Okay, he went to go look because he doesn't know. Red. All I was saying about the 14th Amendment that the white man, including the children of slave, they didn't do it just for. They didn't have the best intentions for the people that they
So
made it for. That's all I was saying, right? I
so
wasn't
in
saying it
1920,
was.
so you won't look it up. 1924, Native Americans get citizenship.
Due to what?
The what was it? The act. Could you look it up? I just asked you to look it up like 3 times. In 1924, Native Americans get citizenship, which
How?
means that at the time of the 14th Amendment, it didn't apply to everyone. Matter of fact, I don't need at the time of the 14th Amendment, it didn't apply to the Chinese because they don't gain it till 1870 or something like that.
So the white man created the 14th Amendment. He was running shit, right? He made the 14th Amendment for people that it didn't apply to. The white man is not under the 14th Amendment.
Because what Donald Trump said was true. At the time, it was made for those that were freed from slavery. The 13th. Why do you think these amendments are right in succession of each other? The 13th, the 14th, and the 15th.
Numerological order.
Native
I don't know.
Yeah,
Americans
but they
too
didn't
were free
happen
from
like in the
bondage.
same day. So
Native Americans too
at
were free
the
from
at
the
the
slavery.
time of the 14th Amendment, not all people that were born within the territory thereof were considered citizens because this was specifically an amendment making the newly freed slaves citizens.
What amendment was for white people?
No,
What
no, that
amendment
is
let them
incorrect.
become
It said
citizens?
born
What do
off
Red,
you
and
they
mean?
made them.
descend,
The
Red,
entire
they
naturalized.
made
It
they
said
made
Constitution,
them.
born off and it
Vibe,
said
They
this is
made
getting
them.
naturalized.
the
Listen, they
entire
made them citizens.
Constitution was made for white
Listen,
tea people.
they made them citizens so they wouldn't lose their slave labor. That's what they. Because if those people were not citizens, they could ask to immigrate, leave the country, and that would collapse the southern economy, agriculture, everything. They didn't do it because they loved us. They cut off the opportunity for many to leave the United States.
Another perspective. I love you guys.
I mean, these are all very insightful perspectives that we all
No,
have
no,
to
no,
question.
no!
There's nothing
Stop
that
that!
we're
Stop
not.
that! These are not
Red,
perspectives.
red.
These are not no goddamn
I was
perspectives.
trying to
This
give
is
you. I
fact.
was trying to.
This is not no
Stop that.
goddamn. No, don't even frame it like
Yeah,
that. These are fucking
red.
facts.
All
Ain't
right,
no goddamn
fine.
perspective. I
No,
don't
All
tell
right,
you
said
about
bro.
no,
perspective.
no,
Yeah.
I
no,
tell
no,
you
stop that.
facts.
No, said no,
I was
no,
just
no,
gonna say
stop
thanks
that.
for everybody's insight. That's all I
No,
was
this
gonna
is
say.
not
Again, y'all
goddamn
stop giving
insight.
red high blood pressure. Stop giving red high blood pressure.
The
Yeah, Red,
1924 Snyder
Red gives
Act is
himself
not my
high.
perspective.
Man, drink that tea,
He
Red. Drink
said,
that.
thanks for your perspective. Like I made that shit up. Look up the 1924 Snyder Act.
I did not
Yeah, you did.
insinuate
Your
that.
perspective.
No, Red, relax.
Hey,
Anyway,
I like the way people piss on me and tell me it's raining. I like your version of the truth, Red, and I appreciate everybody else's version of the truth.
I love
That
how you
is the
lied. You're
truth.
like, I love how you set up a question that you already knew the answer to, and then expected me to Google it. That was genius.
Absolutely. You know why? Because I keep giving you the information and you keep saying that it's my opinion on it. And that's why if you don't look it up yourself, you'll never know that it's what I'm saying is true.
I got it. Verbatim, like the words, right? I don't the English terminology. Like you were just talking about legalese, Red.
No,
You're
I'm
just
not
talking
talking
about how
about
persons.
legalese. I am not talking about legalese. The framers of the Constitution never imagined that their words would evolve to include anybody but white tea males.
You just call white people
I mean,
stupid.
because initially, when you start talking about mankind, white tea men didn't consider women part of mankind.
Right, I got that.
Then it evolves. Much later on. to
So
include white tea women, but and then later to include black women, to later to be include black people, later to
Black men
include
and black
other people.
men that
So
want to be women.
like all of these, like at the framing of the Constitution, was all of mankind included in the
right,
Constitution?
and
No.
I get that because like the white women got rights on the 14th, right? Uh, the Europeans got it. It wasn't like
What you
they didn't
mean?
see that the
White
white
tea
women
people
got
always had the rights. Who
the
was the
white women got
Constitution made for?
well the first ones that took advantage of that 14th Amendment. You know, the ones that really like everybody
These are
The
that
people
grew
white
coming
one.
from. These are people coming from England that wanted to separate,
The white
which is
one.
crazy. Which is crazy is because they fled persecution only to persecute, right? So we're talking about once again white tea Christian males. This is the only people that the Constitution initially applies to.
So
Land
that means
owning.
black people and like black Americans are tethering to the 14th Amendment then.
right. No, what Red's saying is that they never
No,
really
hold on,
intended it. It
hold
just
on,
happened to
hold on,
be, you
hold
know.
on. My
But here,
tea
no,
is
no, Uncle,
finished.
Uncle,
Hold
let
on,
me.
hold on, hold on. My tea is finished. Red, you're saying black Americans are tethering to the 14th Amendment.
Huh?
You're saying black Americans are tethering to the 14th Amendment.
No, he's saying
Oh,
Black
wait.
Americans are intended of the 14th Amendment. It was created for them and only them.
No, he said it was created for the white Christians, male Christians.
Oh no.
No,
Okay.
he said the
So I'm saying that the
Constitution. He said the Constitution was.
Constitution was created for initially created to only include white land owning Christian males.
But they slipped up
So
on the 14th Amendment.
say what? Yeah, I'm gonna go to the 14th Amendment. Then the 14th Amendment was enacted to address the issue of the newly freed slaves. But I'm
I
saying
think
when white tea men use verbiage, that verbiage evolves to include other people that they never intended
I don't think
to
they made a
include, like
mistake.
human, mankind,
No. Okay, so let me check
That's
and
you right there, Red.
persons.
Let me check you right there.
Red.
So, Red, the
See, my only
verbiage.
issue
The
is Red.
Uncle,
You
let
see,
me just say this before you. Let me just say this to Red. So the verbiage of the legalese, the thing that you keep tying back to.
Yes, that's not
Listen,
saying
listen,
legalese, man. I'm
Red,
not
please listen.
Moorish. I'm not
No, listen.
Moorish. That's
The
English.
thing
It's
that
not legalese. It's just
the
hold on, we
English.
have a
the
new
it's
person.
just
The Black
it's okay.
History has
It's
not
not
said nothing.
legalese.
Let me land my
Black
point, Red,
History has
please.
not
Let
said
me.
nothing. Black History,
I
jump
know.
in.
I got black. I got black.
I don't even know what you're talking about when you say
Red.
legalese.
I know you're not a lawyer. You don't know legalese. It's not
Yeah,
a
yeah.
Moorish
Are you a
term.
lawyer?
Legalese is not a
Are you a
Moorish term.
lawyer?
I took legal studies. All
Are
right,
you a lawyer?
that's how far I got. All
Are
right,
you
I
a
wanted to be
lawyer?
one. I wanted to be one, Red.
Okay,
But
yeah.
here,
I wanted to be
but you
president
shouldn't be so turned off about the language of this doctrine that you're saying that had verbiage.
Bro
So the
said he
verb.
took
because it
Can you
has
guys?
legalese.
Can
nothing
you
to
mute
do
up?
with
Hold on.
legalese.
Let me
Go and put it back.
let me.
What you
You
mean
got
you
back.
took legalese? Go and put it back.
I got okay. So Red. Okay, things have to be fleshed out, right? We have words in layman terms, and then we got terms, right? And terms have to be fleshed out in a legal context. So the verbiage you're talking about, the Constitution, has a legal doctrine that gets fleshed out from here goes another Moorish term, Black's Law Dictionary,
Yeah,
which has
yeah,
nothing.
yeah. Exactly.
Okay. So hold on, Red. Hold on, please.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. You have like the fact that
Red.
the fact that you're
Why?
using any of those lets me know you've sat around some more at
Red.
some
It's
point
just
in time somewhere.
Red. Lawyers have to do this. They have to
No,
pass
they
the
don't.
bar.
That's
Yes,
what
they
I'm telling
do.
you. You have
He
set
said
up under
noted,
a
Red,
noted.
are
door
you
at some.
serious, bro?
That's
I'm
Saying
why
my
the
not
name
belly all
Moorish.
again and
standing
I'm
again
up.
not
does not
Moorish.
change that you have been
Red.
indoctrinated by some more, some goddamn
Red.
where at some point in time.
So you
So,
keep talking about this verbiage on the on the
well,
Constitution,
because
right?
like the
And
thing is, so
you
the thing
making me
is
seem like
that
these white people did not know what they were writing down.
human is not
They knew
legalese.
exactly what they were doing, bro.
I know.
Yeah, they knew
But
exactly what they're doing. When they said human,
Red wants to say they duped themselves into writing a 14th Amendment that now benefits Black Americans.
absolutely they did. They did.
No. They knew exactly what they
Because
were doing. They knew it for
okay,
us.
so at the time of the writing of the document, did the white T men consider non-white T people human?
No.
No. So it wasn't intended as the word as consciousness evolves and you have
So they
white
were
T
writing
people
it for
you
the
have
white
white T
people.
people questioning, wait a minute, are enslaved people, are these Africans actually human? And then when the
So you're
question
saying
becomes when the answer to that question becomes yes, then you have to question the fact, wait a minute, the law that we wrote for humans, which only initially we considered to be white T land owning males, does it now include these other people now that we recognize them as human? As we
you
recognize
know
them.
what,
Yes.
right?
So it has nothing to do with
You know what?
legal ease. It
You know
has
what?
more to do with the consciousness of white T people evolving and recognizing that black people are also human or part of mankind. And also later on realizing that Native Americans, women, black women, Chinese are also part of that group that we call mankind.
It's painful. You see, I'm saying this, right? You said it yourself, even. The white people made the 14th Amendment for themselves because they ain't consider the black folks or the slaves human. That means
No,
the
no, no. I
black
didn't say the
folks,
14th Amendment, the Constitution, I said.
wonderful.
The 14th Amendment is part of that, but I'm saying the 14th Amendment was
Wonderful, right?
Still three-fifths.
separated.
We're still three-fifths.
The Constitution is
We're still
made.
three-fifths.
The Constitution is made for uh the white T male, but at the inception of the 14th Amendment, they are considering black people humans, and that the 14th Amendment is made for the newly freed slave. So that's what I'm saying. Donald Trump wasn't wrong in saying that because that's who it was developed for. But the verbiage, after you come to realize when you say all persons, because this is dictated upon who they consider persons at the time. Native Americans and Chinese people were not considered persons at the time. As the word develops to, at least to white T people, who persons are, the expansion begins to who it applies to. So now that we're in a developed age where we consider all humans persons, it applies to everyone, but it always didn't.
I'm making a snow cone.
You're making a
You got
snow cone.
a snow cone maker? Oh, Luis.
They didn't want to lose their cheap labor. That's why they did it.
That's why
That's
they
why
did the
they did
14th Amendment, sister.
no, I'm talking about granting citizenship because there
Right.
were millions of black people here to do labor and not millions of Native Americans left or Asians left. And they were concerned about the agricultural sector collapsing. And they said, we better do something to rope these black people in here because if they ask to emigrate, it will collapse the economy.
We
And
will
that's
lose our
why
labor
they did
force.
it. And that's why they did it. It wasn't because they loved us and wanted us to be citizens.
So it was
You
almost like
see,
an entrapment.
I wanna clap back on something Red just said, right? Not really clap back, just push back. Red, the same verbiage you're talking about. When you move past that, all persons, right? You will find born in America and you will find naturalized. Those are two different group of people, right?
Wait.
And
It says all persons born in the territory thereof, right? And
No, it
so,
says naturalized too.
say again.
It says naturalized too.
Read the full thing.
that's what I had said, Uncle, because it is naturalized or birthright. But
That's the thing.
there's
I
two
don't think it's
definitions
done.
of person in the verbiage, Red. If you know the two different definitions, not to
Hold,
get
hold on a
Moorish
second.
on
Right
you,
there, right.
Hold on a
not to
second. I'm
get
reading.
Moorish on you.
Section 1.
Ratified in 1868, the 14th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution grants citizenship to all persons born or naturalized. Yeah.
It's painful, right?
No, it's not. It's
So
simple.
you see how it's
Born
always
is you.
intended for anybody that
Naturalized is you.
No, it was
was
not always intended. Remember when I told you, go pull up the Civil Rights Act of 1870. Remember when
It's
I
painful.
told no? So I don't. What did I say
no.
earlier?
Okay, I got you, Red. I got you.
What did
But
I?
I
What did
mean,
I say earlier?
that's what it's turned into, though.
No,
Right, Red?
No. Stop. What did I say earlier? No,
Stop,
you're not finna twist this donkey into whatever you make it. So what did I say earlier? So don't act like I'm just making it up on the spot. What did I say earlier?
I didn't Google it. Remember, Red?
I said that the Naturalization Act of 1870 tells you exactly who the 14th Amendment is talking about. And in the Naturalization Act of 1870, what does it say? Africans of nativity and Africans of descent, which covers who? Those born in the territory thereof or those that have been naturalized.
Red, right?
You
Red.
said 1870. I'm gonna go look it up right now, Red.
The
1870.
Naturalization Act of 1870. Look at who
Okay,
it applies
I'm
to.
gonna go
Okay,
look.
good. Red. The 14th Amendment, what year was it passed?
The 14th Amendment was, hold on, it's 1866, 1865, 1866.
Okay. And the Naturalization Act, what year?
The Naturalization Act is 1870.
So you're saying, you know what?
That the future Naturalization Act tells you who the past 14th Amendment is exactly talking about? Yes. Because African Americans also had to be naturalized. That's why I said from the very beginning, start with the Dred Scott decision saying that the Constitution doesn't apply to us at all. Then you go to the 13th, the 14th, the 15th Amendment, the Civil Rights Act, the first Civil Rights Act, the Civil Rights Act of 1866, and then the Naturalization Act of 1870.
And when they made us citizens, that gave them the right to start messing with our identity. Okay? Because up until that point, we were African. And then now they made us citizen, and then they started changing our identity. You have 4 generations of people with 4 different identifications on their birth certificates.
Those things mean the same thing. When you look up colored, it'll say outdated term, and the connecting word will be African. Hold on one second.
You see?
Hold on one second.
Okay.
When you look up any of these words, colored, Negro, black, African American, there'll be one word that connects them all, and that word is African. So no matter what word they called us, or even that we called ourselves, we've always been talking about Africans.
I'm talking about what's on our legal documents.
Yeah,
Okay?
like what word?
Red, it says it was passed in 1790 though.
Say what?
It says it was passed in 1790.
I didn't say the first Naturalization Act. I said the Naturalization Act of.
And that was free white people.
I didn't say nothing. Like,
no, I was speaking on
your
what,
wording is wrong. That's why you got that. I said hold on, 1866, the Naturalization Act of 1870.
No, you're right about that, Red. But he's just, I mean, like,
Yeah, I don't know what you got, Uncle Moose. I said the Naturalization Act of 1870.
I'm reading it too. He's right. 1790 was the first one for free white. It was just
but I don't care about it because it's not what I'm talking about. What does the one that I say?
So the one that you're saying, you're saying that one applies to what we know now as the 14th Amendment. So what
What
Uncle
does it
Bruce is
say
saying,
though?
I'm gonna read it verbatim.
Thank
Okay,
you, please.
let me pull it up. But again, Red.
What? No. What does it
So why
say?
don't this one apply
What
to
does it?
it though?
But my ass.
Why
What
don't
does
this
it
one
say?
apply to it?
What does it say?
Why
You
don't
trying to
this one
tap dance
apply
on
to
this
it?
shit? What does it say?
No,
Do
real
you
shit
have?
though. Like why don't
Is
this
it up
one
right
apply
here?
to it?
You got it up here, Luis,
No,
or I
that's
can
not
pull it up.
it. I don't know what this is
I
on the
can pull it
screen.
up. I can pull it up.
Red said, "But my ass." What does it say?
Yeah, what does it say? You keep talking about it. What does it say?
All right, here I'm gonna pull it up. Let me shrink this. Let me make this big. Let me get my
If these people
ass.
who are
Let me get
saying they
my
didn't call
ass
us
on.
Africans, read the Constitution. It says
All right, let's
Africans
read
in
it.
there. The word is there. African.
I'm gonna
So,
Stop
move
being
so for
ignorant.
the
things on here.
people on the panel and in the comments saying they never called us African, the Naturalization Act of 1870, 16 Statute 254 was a U.S. law passed on July the 14th, 1870 that extended citizenship rights to aliens of... That couldn't have been an accident. Don't try to sabotage me now, dog.
Stop it, bro.
Don't try to sabotage it now, right when I was about to get to African. I'm going to have to start from the beginning now. The Naturalization Act of 1870, 16, Statute 254, was a U.S. law passed on July 14, 1870 that extended citizenship rights to aliens of African nativity. Now, who are the Africans of nativity? The ones that were born on the continent. And persons of
Indigenous Black Americans.
can't even hear you because I'm dropping these gems. Who's the Africans of nativity? These are
How
the
you
Africans
how
that were
you how you
born
translate
on the
that like
continent
that?
and
Like
forcibly brought here and enslaved. Africans of nativity and persons of African descent. Now, who are
Africans
the
of
Africans of
nativity.
descent? These Africans of descent were born of the Africans of nativity, while restricting naturalization, for non-whites.
You say what?
Non-whites.
What?
That means that the 14th Amendment in 1870 couldn't have applied to everyone because even in 1870, it restricted naturalization for non-whites. It
Right. So
aimed
let's
to align.
expansion of
It aimed to
eligibility. Let's
align
move on.
immigration laws with
Hold on.
Reconstruction
Let him
What is
era.
finish.
African
Let
of
him
nativity?
finish.
He keeps
It
repeating himself.
You keep saying
Let him
Exactly,
what?
because I'm
finish.
trying to drive it home.
What?
It aimed to align immigration laws with the
You keep saying
Reconstruction
what?
era 14th Amendment explicitly permitting naturalization of black individuals. Did I not say that this tied into the 14th Amendment? Did I not say that? Are you entertained?
Okay, so this is the real.
Entertained?
So
Everybody
what is
give
an
Red
African of
applause. Give him a
Okay,
nativity?
this
round of
is
Now that
the
you brought
applause.
that
initial.
out,
I
though.
get you. This is the initial red.
Give
I just
Red a
don't think.
round of applause.
It's not about
Yeah,
what
let's
you
give him a
think. What
round.
does it
I'm
say?
gonna give him a round of applause. But here, Red, I want you to read the next part, Red. This is
Expansion
what
of
Uncle Moose.
eligibility. It allows
Okay.
people of African descent and nativity to become U.S. citizens, expanding on previous
Painful.
free persons requirement from 1790. I stated this already. I said
So if
because without one thing, you can't have the other. The 14th, the 15th, the 14th, 15th. The 13th, the 14th, the 15th Amendment, the Civil Rights Act of
Hold on, Red.
1866,
Red.
the Naturalization Act of 1870. All of these go together like
Red.
hand in glove, baby.
Red. I see a gray area. I see a gray area. Red. Do you think African? No, hold on for a second.
Can we ask a question, Red?
Yeah.
What? So do you think, right, African nativity and African descent is the same thing?
I just made the distinction between. Okay, so who does the? Because remember,
He said it's the same thing.
who said it's the same thing? Who said it was the same thing?
You said
No, I
you said
did not.
African nativity.
No, I
And the
didn't.
people from Africa.
No, I
You said
didn't.
African descended people
Nuh-uh.
are
So
the
you guys are
nativity
so busy
people.
listening, trying to find a
Red, I'll
chink.
run the clip
No.
back,
I'm
bro.
gonna
But
say
go ahead. Go ahead. Make
exactly.
the
I'm gonna say
distinction.
exactly what I said again. You guys are so busy trying to find a chink in the armor that you're not paying attention. I exactly explained it. I said African. Shut all the way the fuck up. I said Africans of nativity are what? Who did I say the Africans of nativity was?
Those
Babs?
born
Who
on the
did I say they
continent.
were?
Those born on the continent
I
of
said
Africa.
those born on the continent, and then I said the Africans of descent are who? Those born
Their
of the ones
children.
of nativity.
What
Activity, right.
continent?
On
What
you mean
continent are
on
we
what
talking about?
continent?
On the
Yeah.
Yes.
U.S.
On
continent.
the U.S.
The
continent. Are
Asian
you?
Oh, I
continent.
thought we were talking about the African continent because I thought
No,
that's where
the
they
Continent. Like
descend
Africans
from.
of
seriously,
okay.
what
So
we
I
talking
thought that's where they
continent?
descend from.
So listen. I'm gonna say it slow. The Africans of nativity are those that were born on the continent, forcibly
I
brought
got
over
that
here,
part.
enslaved, right? And who
Yep.
are the Africans of descent? Those
Mhm.
born of the ones of nativity. So that means they were born from the ones of that were born in Africa, but on U.S. soil. Africans of nativity
See,
and
Red, no,
Africans
Red,
of
don't do
descent.
that.
Where do you
Why
get the
would there
Red,
be
don't
a
do
nativity?
that. Red,
distinction?
don't
Why
do
would
that.
there be a distinction, Red?
Don't
Why?
do that.
You're making
Because
it one and the
Don't do
same.
that.
why would there be a distinction? Because
Yeah.
they're okay. So if you say all persons born in the territory thereof or naturalized, who does that apply to?
You know what that sounds like to me, Red? When
Stop
they say
it. Who
no,
does
no,
It's
that
Red.
like
apply?
saying
Listen
all
to me.
Stop
Apple
Listen to
it.
me. No,
products
no. Here,
Stop
I got the
it.
perfect
and
Stop
then
analogy.
it.
going ahead
Stop
to
it.
say
Red,
chocolate
Stop
please
it.
listen to me,
Stop
Red.
it.
Vons
Stop
at
it.
No,
earphones.
Stop it.
guys.
Stop
No,
it. Stop it.
he's
Red, don't
reading.
get triggered, Red.
No,
No,
Relax,
because I'm
relax.
not listening
he's
to dumb
reading what the
shit.
law
Red,
says.
the
Who,
Stop
when
only
you
thing,
triggering
say
him.
those born within
Red,
the
let me,
read my dick.
let me,
So when you
let me.
Uncle
say
Moose,
those
stop.
Oh,
born
whoa!
with,
I gotta mute you now. I gotta mute you, Red. Relax,
Uncle
relax, bro.
Moose,
You can't
stop.
be
so when you say
Red,
those
Red,
born in the,
Red. Can I speak, please, Red?
you
Can
can
I
be
speak?
wrong.
I can be wrong, so let me be wrong. Let me be wrong. So when I hear, you know what I hear when I hear that? When I hear that, I hear ADOS, American Descendants of Slaves. You know, I don't hear enslaved Africans because they don't
Okay,
want to
so
say where they
so
descend
when
from.
you
Stay with
argued
the
this point,
FBAs.
you argued this point yourself earlier. When you read the 14th Amendment and it says those born within the territory thereof, who is it talking about? People born within the territory of the United States.
The jurisdiction.
Yeah, exactly. Born.
So what's a
with,
So
jurisdiction,
does it
Red?
say
What's a
if
stop.
those
jurisdiction
people
without getting Moorish?
Stop.
Without getting Moorish on me.
Stop.
hold
Stop.
on.
No, come on, guys.
What
Be
Red,
serious.
covers
Stop
Red.
antagonizing him. Stop.
what covers those that were born in Africa?
I have a question.
What wait, Uncle Moose. What covers those? Okay, so if you got Africans here that were born on the continent but brought here forcibly through slavery, what makes them citizens?
Right.
14th Amendment.
No, it doesn't,
Apparently the
because they
14th
were not
Amendment.
born here. They were not born
Oh,
here.
I'm so confused.
Huh?
14th
So
Amendment,
again,
bro.
so Red,
Wait, no. Answer the
I'm
third
confused.
question. You don't understand because you're not tracking intentionally. If you
So
talk about
they
those,
couldn't be citizens, right? That's what you're saying, Red. They couldn't be
okay,
citizens, so that's why.
follow me again. Follow me again. If you say those born within the territory thereof, how do you make those that were born on the continent citizens?
Good.
So anything that's founded or
let me tell
established is
you
a
why.
colony, right?
See, that's the
And
thing,
they,
man.
the
What?
jurisdiction
You know what?
of
I'm about to leave because you just being intentionally fucking stupid and I don't like it.
Red. You don't want to hear any. You want to hear your own
No,
voice. You don't
I'm
want to hear
saying
anybody
the
else's.
fact. Okay, so
You keep cutting people off, Red.
because you're
Relax,
stupid. I can't help it.
Red,
I can't help
don't
stupid.
do that, Red. Do not do that, Red. That's so low of you,
Who?
bro.
No,
I've
it's
been really,
not because
I've been really patient
you're
to like
trying
listen
to
to
be
you, Red.
obstinate just to be obstinate,
But
and that shit is not. That's
not at
not
all.
cool.
I just have a different. Oh my God, Red. Are you
Let
serious?
Let him read the law, and when he's done, then question him. But you're interrupting him, and some of us are trying to learn, and you keep
Okay, so
interrupting him.
I know I keep hurting Red's feelings because he doesn't want me to question anything. He wants me to take everything he
No,
says.
let him let him land,
Right,
and then ask him questions. Some of us are trying to learn, and we can't
sister.
learn with the back and forth.
Okay,
We can't
let
learn.
Red land. I think Mama is saying Red did not land.
Go ahead and land, Red. I feel like we're too emotionally attached to this 14th Amendment thing, and we have questions. We got some answers. I felt like everybody had a good insight on this, but if I can't question anything and understand it, and maybe I have to go do some research and come back and know what I'm talking about.
But I'm
But
telling you, this is the first time, even at my age, that I'm seeing this in print, even though I know it existed. But it's the first time I'm seeing it in print, and I'm trying to understand it. But with the back and forth, the banter going back and forth, I can't focus and concentrate.
so, sister, I'm gonna ask you just to relax. I don't think we've done anything outside of the Red's been telling me to shut up and cutting me off every time I get a chance to ask him or define or
Let him
reinterpret.
finish. Let him finish and then ask the questions. Oh.
I know you're cheerleading for Red, and I know you're only going to listen to what
No,
Red
I'm
says. So
cheerleading
that's
for
fine.
education. I'm cheerleading for education. I'm an educator. And I'm
I love
trying
Red.
You guys are
Red is
petty.
an educator,
You
and I
guys are
respect Red
petty.
to the utmost. For real. This is the only time I've ever gotten a little back and forth, but it's not
Uncle
a big
Moose,
deal.
you
Sorry.
stop. Uncle Moose, you're being very naughty. Uncle Moose, you're being naughty. Just stop.
So, with that said, though, how do you make those? Okay, I'll ask you. If the 14th Amendment
Red, they
says
say
those,
land and you want to ask
if
us
the
questions. If
14th
we talk
Amendment
now,
says
they'll
those
say we
born
are
in,
interrupting you.
if the 14th Amendment says those born within the territory thereof, what covers those that were not born in the territory?
Right.
Let me tell you how it covers them. That's the thing. When they say born in the territory, they didn't tell you where they came from. That is why they call some of them anchor babies.
No,
That is
there's
the
nothing
thing.
in the Constitution that says anchor babies.
So let me ask you this: the ones born in Puerto Rico, are they still part of it?
That's the territory.
Oh,
That's a
good point.
territory.
Good point.
How?
That's a
Yeah.
How
So
about
territory.
that?
they get to dictate. They get to dictate what is territory and what is not.
Yeah,
Came
that's a
from.
territory.
So
Just
the
like
ones that came
Guam.
from Africa and got born
Just
in the Jamaica and the Caribbean.
exactly.
I mean, it depends on
Because
what part of the Caribbean. Is it the
Oh,
And
U.S.
remember,
version?
what you
Red, the
mean? What
United States
part? The
wasn't
same
always the United
territory.
States. It was part of so many other,
What does
jurisdictions.
this
The
have
same
to
and
do
they were
territory.
with Africans
and
that
they
were
were
born?
moving slaves back and forth between the US and the Caribbean. It wasn't just
Because
isolated. They were
Africans were brought
moving
by
it.
a bunch of other colonies besides the British.
Okay, so
We
again, you
know
know what?
that.
Why am I arguing when it's on the screen?
I am not arguing, Red, at all,
It's
bro. I'm
on the
trying to.
screen. Africans of
You asked
nativity
me.
and
You asked me
Africans of
for.
descent. It's
You know
in the
what? Somebody just
verbiage.
look up the definition of African of nativity. Just
What
look
does
it
it
up.
mean? What does
And
African? What
Africa,
does it sound like it means?
yes,
African of
look
nativity,
up difference
is
between
talking about
uh
African of nativity is talking about the African that was
vibes.
born on the continent.
No, Red, I'm not gonna take your word for it.
Well, look it up.
Vibes.
Yeah, I'm
Look
gonna
up
look it
You
up.
got
I'm
African
gonna
Google.
research
I don't
this,
know
of
Red.
why you
I'm gonna
guys are
nativity.
flesh
arguing with
this
me.
one
Look it
out because
up.
you feel you're doubling down on this.
I'm
So
not doubling
I'm gonna
down. Okay,
definitely
so once again,
I'm definitely gonna follow
I
this
don't
up,
say
Red.
anything. The Constitution says it. Red didn't say shit. The Constitution says it.
See, Red didn't
Just
say
like I tell
shit.
pretendians, I didn't say that all of the human remains found on the Western Hemisphere are Amerindian. The scientists did. I didn't say anything. I only read you what they said. And I don't even interpret it. I read their interpretation of it. This is not my
You see,
interpretation. It's how it's interpreted.
No accountability. It's crazy.
Well, why would
I'm
I
joking.
need to take
It's a joke,
accountability?
Red.
I
It's a
read
joke.
there. So I, unlike you, I don't make up what I think it says. I read about what it says. I don't shoot from the hip and say, I think it means this. African, I didn't, you think I came up with African nativity meant those born on the continent by myself? That's not my, I don't even know what I
You're
thought.
still interpreting it without
I'm not
actually knowing what it
interpreting it.
actually means.
I'm not,
Okay.
I'm not interpreting it at all. This is what the Constitution says. Look it up and prove me wrong. Prove
I
me
will.
otherwise.
I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna follow.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
please
follow
do.
through.
I wish you would look it up before you start arguing with me.
No, I pulled it up for you, Red. We read it together.
Yeah, I
I'm just
already
saying.
knew. But does it say what I say it said?
Yes.
Absolutely,
100%.
it does. So why would you think that I didn't know what it meant either? Look up what it means
No,
and come back and tell
back
me.
to what we were talking about.
So
Like the
now
question
that
that
we
you had for
have,
me was a good question.
now that we
The one about the
have
jurisdiction.
now that we have what it says, what I say it says. Now you're saying, well, maybe it might not mean what you say it meant. So look it up and come back and tell me I'm wrong.
Again, this is a 1870. We talked about the 1790, right? It's something previous to it, and how it's been re-amended over and over again. Now,
What's been
when we talked
re-amended?
about Donald Trump and what he said, right?
He's absolutely right.
He's the same one that said, "Oh, I want to do things for Black Americans, not African Americans. Which one are you?" They were like, "Black for Trump."
I don't
Black
know
for
about
Trump.
that, and I don't
Yeah, you
care
don't
about
know.
that.
All right. Well, that's
Because
when
he said, you know what? Donald Trump has said 2 million wrong things, but that
was the right thing he said.
He said 2 million wrong things, but when he said the 14th Amendment was meant for those that came out of slavery, he was absolutely 100% right.
Yeah, FBAs are doubling down, calling people
It
anchor
doesn't
babies.
matter that they're doubling down. If we go against what the history says, we're just as bad as them. So to bend the history to fit our point,
But-
it will turn around and bite us in the tail.
And Red, the only thing I have a pushback of is the verbiage, right? The
What
verbiage
verbiage?
of what it was intended for. You have a claim that it was.
Oh, it's not my claim.
They did not know what their verbiage was, and the verbiage caught up to them. That's what you're stating.
Yeah. It was the proof is right here in your face.
No, I got you. I'm going to follow up with this, Red, because
Okay,
I'm not.
So when was the 14th Amendment amended? Uncle Moose just asked me this.
We have two examples right here. All right.
When
And then
was
I'm
the
guessing,
14th when was
I'm
the
guessing
14th Amendment
1965
made?
was. I'm guessing with the civil rights and all that is when it was amended again.
No.
I don't know.
Civil rights was in the 1960s. I mean, but the first Civil Rights
That's what I'm
Act.
saying.
But when was the 14th Amendment done?
It's been amended plenty of times. I'm
Could
sure,
you
Red. I don't know the
stop
I don't know
This
the
is
last recent
problem.
one. I
You have
don't
a
know the last
computer
recent
in your hand and you're guessing. When was the 14th Amendment created?
This is you asking me to go on Google and look it up.
Absolutely, because you need to stop guessing. This is the problem.
Red, I'm only going based off what we have on the screen.
So you're not going to go
has,
look. So you're not
that
going
it
to go
has
look.
been amended. I will.
Okay, so I'm not talking until you go look.
I love how Red bosses me around. You see that?
I don't like having conversations on what you're ill-informed to talk on. Hey, they usually asking me about the Brits.
1860.
Huh?
18, it was last 1868. But I have to let me go back and read a little bit more.
And Blue Bands, what I'm reading now is not the 14th Amendment. This is the language from the 1870 Naturalization Act, which is separate from the 14th Amendment.
So as we have it here, Bill of Rights was included in this amendment. Oh, did you switch it, Uncle? Okay. Bill of Rights was included in the amendment. 1968 has not been formally amended or changed since its adoption. Wait, I had it wrong then. Sorry.
So you know why I asked you to pull this up? The year is what's important. 1868. So your claim is that at the time of at 1868, this is applicable to all persons, right?
I said the Naturalization Act.
No. You said the 14th Amendment.
Yeah, which is included in the Naturalization Act.
No, it's not.
It's not?
Okay, so remember we were initially talking about the 14th Amendment. And you said, because the verbiage in the 14th Amendment is that all persons born in the territory thereof or naturalized. And you said that applies to all persons, right? That's what the actual document says, Blue Bands.
All right. All right. So, okay, run that one back.
Okay. So remember, what we were discussing was whether the 14th Amendment applied to all people at the time. You
Right.
said that it did because it said all persons, right?
In the present time.
No,
Present.
no, because I was
Yes,
saying,
yes, Red.
okay. So you're saying in the present time, you're saying that Donald Trump was wrong in saying that it was made for the newly freed slaves. I'm saying that he was correct. And the 14th in the 1870 Naturalization Act proved what I'm saying. And I'm going to show
So
you
if
how.
that,
So you do agree that you're saying that Donald Trump is wrong, right?
I'm saying his German ass, right? He's the one proposing this while his ass is here, right? And putting himself above all immigrants. Right, Red?
The question is, at the time of the 14th Amendment, did it apply to everyone? Because that's what he's...
No, that's not. No, you're right. It did not.
So he was correct in what he said.
But the reason why he said it was because he was going to put them at the top of the, like, but what I'm saying in the present time, it includes everybody that was born.
But he's not talking about present time.
So,
He
when I
said
meant
the
about
14th Amendment was intended for slaves. He's correct.
So, okay.
Was he wrong in saying that?
I'm not going to, I guess not.
Oh,
You know?
that's what the entire discussion has been about. Now, and because I agree, has the 14th Amendment expanded to include all people today? Yes. But when it was written, it wasn't. So he is correct in what he says. At the time of its writing, it wasn't intended for everyone. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Okay, we have no dispute then.
Let's look at this shit. So there goes 1865, 13th Amendment. Trump proposed end birthright citizenship for children of undocumented immigrants. That's his big claim, right?
Wait, walk me through this, because start where you started from.
So start when first Africans were brought to North America by the Spanish.
First Africans are brought in 1526. Cool beans.
Yeah, let's go down this timeline.
Oh, it looked better the other way. I can't see it this way.
Let me This one's a better one though because it actually goes through. This is the whole FBA logic. You know,
Who was considered
who was the
immigrants?
14th Amendment proposed for? Protects all U.S. born citizens. I mean, but look right here. Who were the beneficiaries of the 14th Amendment? And we repeated it again: white women, European immigrants, and freed slaves.
Okay, so stop right there. So what did I say initially? Who was the Constitution made for?
African nativity.
Wait, no, not the 14th Amendment. The Constitution.
Oh, the Constitution. Of course, Red.
No,
When Donald Trump said that,
could
when Donald
you
Trump said
say
that, Red,
what I said? Who was the Constitution made for?
Native Americans.
No, it wasn't. It was made for land-owning Christian white males. Now read what you just read again. What did you just read?
What do you want me to read? What do you want me to
What
read?
you just read about white tea women and all of that.
White women and European immigrants. and
Right,
freed
because the
slaves.
Constitution was not initially made for them. So now you have the induction of white tea women and white
Right.
tea immigrants because the Constitution was not initially made for them. I said that earlier.
Right, so they had to find something to include them.
Right. What did you just? Because I can't see it any longer. What did you just read that included them?
What did you just read that included them?
Pearly. Pearly.
So, Red, when Donald Trump makes such a claim, you know, he's doing that to put other people above other people, Red. You know
What
that, right?
claim? What claim?
The claim that the 14th Amendment was strictly for the children of slaves.
It was.
So, but you have to know the intention behind that claim.
Oh,
Red.
okay. So
Even though,
So the thing is that this is the warning that I give black people, right? If you revisit it, right, because people has grown to expand to include all people as we know it today. But to say that it initially meant black people is not wrong. But what we have to be careful of, and this is why I tell black people to stop applauding when he says that it was meant for black slaves and black slaves only, is because what he's doing is revisiting this, right? And all you need is a judge, a Supreme Court justice, to write a dissent agreeing with him and saying, yep, it was only intended for
right. So
black
again,
people. So yeah, that's a different
so
discussion.
make America great again. He's going back in time,
So
right? He's
on that, I would agree with you. I mean, the fact. So in order to combat what people are doing, we have to lean into the truth. It initially was that, right? But could they write a letter of dissent saying that now this was only meant for descendants of slaves? So now everybody else that was previously considered a citizen is no longer a citizen? Yes, that's dangerous territory. But the thing is this is why I warn toward, this is why I keep saying that you have to do the history on all of it, because they can go all the way back. What was the first thing I said we needed to start with before the 13th Amendment? Do you remember?
No, I don't.
The Dred Scott decision.
Right.
Because remember, the Dred Scott, the 13th and the 14th Amendment is what knocks the Dred Scott decision. People think it's a far-fetched theory and they say I'm fear-mongering, but all somebody would have to do is to go back and say the Dred Scott decision still stands. What does the Dred Scott decision says? That we are not entitled to the privileges of the Constitution. So if somebody goes back and says that, revisits the Constitution and revisits that case, not the Constitution, and says that the Constitution never applied to enslaved individuals, Now that knocks the 13th, the 14th, the 15th Amendment out, the Civil Rights Act of 1866, the Naturalization Act of 1870, everything we achieved in the Civil Rights Act goes out of place. So that's why I say be careful what we applaud as black people, because it affects somebody else, because that same shit can affect you.
Yeah, and that's my whole issue with the black and white, you know? Because when we know about free persons or like
See,
races
Vibes,
based
you
off
trying
of
to get me
geographical
upset this morning.
red. I'm saying though, like
No, I'm not talking about right
internationally,
now. I'm talking about previously, but okay. No, you ain't funny, dude. You ain't funny.
I'm just saying internationally, in the sense of like
Where
how
did Moose go to?
I don't know, Red.
You know why Moose was laughing, right?
But look
You know
at
why
like
Moose was laughing, right?
this graph is exactly what I was gonna present.
Hey, put it the other way, because I can't see it. You know
The
why
other
Moose
way
was
doesn't
laughing, right?
show it. Why?
Because he was instigating. He knew he was wrong. Okay, yeah, I can see it this way. So, 1526, first Africans brought to North America. 1619, yep, tracking that. Laws established racial chattel slavery, yep. End of slavery, 1865, yep. First Africans brought to America. Well, hold on. It says country. Oh, I got to read it from the other way. End birthright citizenship for children of undocumented immigrants. Yeah, I agree. Because that would affect him too. But what was the one you just read? Where did it say white tea people and women? Where did it say that?
Let me redo this this panel thing. Maybe I can do
Where did it say that? I don't see it.
the original beneficiaries.
Oh, there it is. Donald Trump. What? No, that's not it. What part did you read that said white tea women and white tea immigrants?
Right here. Original benefit. European immigrants, white women benefited off the 14th Amendment.
Is that on the screen or are you reading it?
That's on the screen.
What the fuck am I missing?
Top left. Top left. Right.
Oh, original beneficiaries.
Yeah, original.
Free slaves, white women. Yeah. And you know they'll finagle that shit to not include us and just include white tea people.
Yeah, so I feel like even though it is correct in him trying to go back in time and do this, you know, I think it's just to pit us against one another, you know. And again, if people think that the unique lineage is part of this European lineage, and that they're part of the foundational white Americans as well, heritage Americans, right? It just plays into this. This nativist kind of like who got here first, who and you know that dismisses the Native Americans, indigenous people,
Hold on,
and all that.
what part dismisses Native Americans?
Them claiming to, you know, them getting put on reservations, them not being included in the citizenship, them being you know, mistreated, dehumanized, wiped out, erased.
Yeah, but that doesn't change.
It doesn't change what the white man casted for the black man in America. Okay, I got it.
No.
I
wasn't talking about the black man. I'm saying that it does.
I'm saying who gives the fucking right to tell who? Okay, so again, white men run shit, right? They're the ones that claim.
Yeah.
White men get to tell black people who's favored and who's not. This is what FBA's always fucking do, Red. This is my biggest pushback.
Yeah, but the thing is that
so with that, for them to even claim, oh, we get reparations because they did this to us at the beginning of this start date, 1600s, chattel slavery. Our lineage goes back to chattel slavery. Nothing before that, nothing to include that. We're not Africans. We're just enslaved people by these white people.
Wait.
I hate how they dictate. What is who they favor and who isn't favored by them who gets shipped by
So
them,
who are the?
et
So
cetera,
the
et
thing
cetera.
is though you can't separate that because who are the enslaved people?
Who didn't white people enslave?
Yeah,
Red?
yeah. But when we're talking about the terms that they're talking about, the enslaved, depending on what time frame you're talking about, the enslaved
That's what I'm
people,
saying. That's what I'm
the
saying, bro.
the enslaved people are the Africans. That's why I'm saying when you go to the 1790 Act, it tells you exactly who they're talking about, Africans. And
I know.
that's why I'm
I'm
saying
reading their words. I'm reading their law. I'm reading their shit.
absolutely, and you should. That's why we shouldn't duck it and say that because when we do, this is why I get mad about it, right? Because when we duck the truths of the document, then that leaves room for FBA to do the same thing, right? So when Donald Trump says that regardless of his intent, that the 14th Amendment is intended for children of slaves, we need to accept that because that's the truth. But if we don't accept that, guess what? When I say to the FBA that the whole time the United States is talking about Africans, and I bring them to the same document that I brought you to and say Africans of nativity and Africans of descent, when they start trying to say that
To
we're
get away from
indigenous,
African.
huh?
I get it. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So
When they're
if
trying to
we
get away from Africa or Africans.
right, and then they're right too because then we're able to ignore whatever we want to ignore. I say the same argument for leaning into the truth. Did some of the African kingdoms participate, or in some of the affluent Africans participate in
In that same enslavement.
enslavement?
Yeah.
We must say yes, because when we fight against it, then that leaves the same room for the anti-educated and the history revisionists to do the same.
But again, Red, I will remind them that the enslavement was not quite the same enslavement, like pre-colonial enslavement, or not. I wouldn't even put it in the same category because when we talk about booty and our kingdoms fighting amongst each other and
I think you
giving
did that on
back,
purpose, but
like
I know
after
what
the
booty
war.
means.
Yeah, you know what booty means, Red?
Yeah,
Like
yeah, the bounty booty. I know what it means.
Oh, sorry. I did not
Yeah,
do
you
that on
did. You
purpose.
was trying to
I
be funny.
used that. Not at all, Red. I'm using
I'm
that in the
kidding.
most legal
I'm
term
kidding. Go ahead. Go ahead.
aspect. But anyways, just like they took the most precious people and then they waited until the war was over to trade back their people, right? Like for whoever hostages or whatever you had, you were able to do a fair exchange. Now, YT people were able to when they came in and already destabilized and already were in Africa for a very long time, they were able to be a part of that trade, you know, and they were able to barter or whatever to put their hands on you know, and they were more I guess available to trade. Say if they wiped out the other kingdom and they didn't have booty to give back to, you know.
So pull up
I'm
the.
saying all I'm saying, Red, it's not the same. You know what I mean?
So
it might have been like an exchange of goods or exchange of people, but I don't feel like it was the same.
Pull up the Naturalization Act again, because I wanted to show you something in that.
I had it up already, right?
Yeah, you had it up already. Okay, so this is up, but remember, this is why I say that we know at 1868, at the time of the 14th Amendment, that it didn't apply to everyone, because the Naturalization Act of 1870, which is 2 years later, states, while restricting naturalization for non-whites. So we know 2 years later that the 14th Amendment doesn't apply to non-whites.
At this time, it was just Indians white people and black people.
Indians. That's what. Remember what I told you to look up. When do Native Americans get citizenship?
Get their citizenship.
1924.
And what did they have to do to like get that?
It
Did
was
they have to
called
give up?
it was called the Schneider Act.
And that's part of like assimilating to America or whatever.
Do you live in Colorado?
No, Red.
Because if you did, I'm grabbing my books. I'm coming to your house.
Red, just give me a summary. Don't make me look it up. Just if you remember.
We about
at the
to
top
have
of your head.
school at your house.
I guess so.
So 1924.
Well, no, like no. Well, I know the boarding schools and all that stuff,
Well, no,
right? Is that kind of like
that's some horrific
that's
other
something
stuff.
before?
Yeah,
Okay.
but
Go ahead.
so it's a damn shame that the indigenous people of the country don't gain citizenship until the almost 100 years after enslaved Africans and others. But that's what I'm saying. So this is why I say Donald Trump is right, because at the inception of the Constitution, the 14th Amendment, Native Americans are yet to have citizenship. Other non-whites don't have citizenship. That's why he's correct, and we have to accept that part.
Right. And so that was their saying. There was them at equal foot. Not even at equal foot, but like the whites were on top of all the other immigrant whites that would come after them.
Hey, that brings up the. You got to start writing some of this shit down. The Know Nothing
This
Party.
is all recorded, Red.
The Know Nothing Native American Party. You're not gonna go look that up, huh? Okay, so you see how FBAs are moving now? This is the way the Know Nothing Native American Party was moving. And these are not the actual Native Americans that I'm talking about. Is somebody snoring?
No, everybody's muted. Maybe Uncle. All right, the Know Nothing Party was an American party. I'm sorry, it was a prominent mid-19th century, 1840, 1850 American political movement driven by nativism, anti-immigrant, and anti-Catholic sentiment, particularly trashing Irish and German Catholics, formed in response to rising immigration. Members were instructed to say, "I know nothing about the party's secrets," yielding its nickname.
So these people, these are white tea people that were born in America. So I guess you could say, remember when we were talking about Africans of nativity and Africans of descent? So there were.
It's like the heritage. It's like the heritage thing, right?
Well, no, I'm about to say these are the Europeans of descent, because the initial people that came here were directly from Europe. The people that are claiming the Know Nothing Party are Europeans of descent. They consider themselves the true Americans because they were born here.
The heritage, yeah.
Yeah, because they were born here. So they're hating on white tea immigrants. Sound familiar?
Yeah.
So this is yesteryear's.
They're trying to delineate from
Exactly.
European
They're trying to
counterparts.
delineate from other Europeans and say that they are the true people of this land and that these Europeans are coming and taking their jobs. And that sound familiar?
Yeah. So you say all this to say
There was
the
a
per-
reason I directed you to this, and I can't remember now.
I know, me either. To
I,
restrict immigration in 2021 naturalization period and prohibit foreign citizens from holding public office. I think Uncle Moose is snoring.
what you say?
It is Uncle Moose snoring. I just muted him. You brought this up to say that they were the first ones claiming. Oh, because we were talking about how the 14th Amendment was only created for. I mean, sorry. The Constitution, or it was only intended for white people until they had to include black people, but it was never intended for Native Americans. I think that's where we're going with this. And then you were like, how sad is it that they never, that it took that long for them to get recognized? No, but Red, my question was, what did they have to do to become citizens?
Who?
And I think that's why you brought this up.
Who?
The Native Americans.
Oh, shit! I'd have to read that myself. I just know that they gained their citizenship long after, which is crazy to say.
Because I think about like allegiance, right, Red? Like what
Oh
we have
no,
to
they
do.
didn't have to pledge allegiance. Nothing. It was just. I think it was just due time. Hold on, let me look up something. Okay, so they didn't have to do anything.
So to become jurisdiction thereof, they just had to be. They had to live off the reservation, right? Could they live on the
No,
reservation and be citizens?
no, that's what I'm saying because wait. I think you're confusing reservation for like you because
Membership.
they are their own governments, but the Snyder Act makes Native Americans U.S. citizens on and off the unit. Because it's matter of fact, let me check. Do they have dual
It was just
citizenship?
like retroactive or something, right? Something like that. I think you're implying. They did it so we could work, she says.
So Native Americans that are enrolled members of a federally recognized tribe do have dual citizenship.
Oh, okay, that's what you were saying. Yeah. Okay. And so they have to have dual, even though they're from here because of the jurisdiction.
Which is something crazy to say, right?
Yeah. Well, that just makes it seem
How
right
do you
that
get made?
they had their own.
How do you get given citizenship to the land that you're indigenous to?
Right. So that's why I feel like it is a different law. Like even though they're using, I for a fact they're using shit that's not theirs, and then applying common law, which is the Queen's law. You know what I mean? On foreign land, essentially.
And that's what I'm saying. This is okay. So this is why I get so upset. I need my people to educate them, and believe me, I've been given the same tough love that I give. I'm not gonna say I've always had all of this stuff intact because when I even came to this app, I was still under the impression, and I don't know if you heard me admit it before, but
I remember Red you talking about like how you came into this. Yeah, I did.
I pretty much grew up thinking the way that I think now. But did I have some kind of pseudoisms? Yes, I think all of us have at one point. Like so,
Of course,
even when I
yeah.
came over to this app, even though I was debunking people on another app, When I came over here, if you had asked me, was the Olmec heads indication that black people have been in, even though this is one of my strongest points of arguing that black people weren't here. But when I came to this app initially, if you had asked me, I would have said yes. But the reason I bring it up is because some of the people that I first bumped into when I first came over here was Sutin, Sutek, Rob Styles, and Port City, some of them other cats, Rev, young Rev. They clowned the shit out of me and was like, you think you want to do your homework? You think you want to? And I was mad, than motherfucker. I was like, fuck you niggas. And, I mean, I didn't say it because I'm always about, like, you know what, if somebody say something, let me go check it out first. And I went in, I had no reason to before because I thought what I thought. And I went and looked it up and I realized I was wrong about the Olmec heads looking like Africans. It was just... and that's why I switch. Like, it's not about what I think or what I believe, what I hope. It's about what we know, what we can prove. And they made fun of me. But you know what that made fun of me made me do? It made me get offline, crack open the book, do some homework, and I came back. I'm like, yeah, you niggas was right, but it wasn't cool making fun of me. But that was the learning process.
No, yeah, and I'm agreeing with like having to see proof for myself and not just going based off of.
That's why
like,
I say look it up because I can say it all day until you read it. You're not going to believe it, and I want you to see it.
Yeah, I got you. My and probably you're right, Red, because if I just keep picking your brain about it without looking at it.
Well, you know what I noticed the first 2 times you asked me, and then when I said it, you was like, "Well, but I think," and then that's when I was like, "Well, nigga, just go look it up then. Don't take my word for it." But you know what? Without saying so, that's what I want everybody to do. Don't take my word for it. I want you to verify it because once you verify it, it's solidified.
And Red, what I would appreciate you to do is not to like discard like when I said legalese and stuff like that.
Oh, that's some more
knowing
shit.
that. No, well, hold on, Red. Hold
that's some more.
Well, Red. I know it does.
You
sound
might as well have
right?
said sovereign citizen.
There is a whole nother language, you know, and I'm not saying it in my best interest of like using the law against, you know, whatever.
Where did you hear that? I mean, it exists it exists in legal realm. I agree.
Legalese is a law term that lawyers use about how to define terminology that is not common or layman, you know, to the common people.
What we were talking about,
that's why we need lawyers to interpret the law. That's it.
But
that's
what we were talking about was not legalese. It was actual just words. People.
You're talking about verbiage.
Yeah, but that's not what we read was the simple words that I don't need a lawyer to interpret. The people born within the territory thereof. That's simple. That's not legalese. I can understand that. I don't need a lawyer to interpret that. People born within the territory.
Well, it's like a jurisdiction. You do
the jurisdiction, right? Wherever the army, wherever the United States States has jurisdiction, which applies to what? Consulates, embassies, military installations, territories.
So it's like, how much did the United States have jurisdiction, and then the Spanish and all that too, right?
Okay, so just put it like this: when you talk about the territories thereof, both my sons was born in Bamberg, Germany, both of them, but they're U.S. citizens. Why? Because was a service member, and they were born on a territory thereof. Which when I'm in Germany and I'm standing on the military installation, you know that's U.S. soil, right?
Right, like the bases. Yeah.
Right, territory thereof. I don't need a lawyer to explain that. That's not legalese.
Persons is legalese.
Persons is not even legalese because this is the thing, right? The documents themselves tell you who's considered persons at the time. So at the time of the 14th Amendment, Native Americans are not considered persons. Non-whites are not considered persons.
Right.
I think when do women get the rights? Because I think at some point women are not considered persons. Then there's a point where white tea women are considered persons, and then black women are not considered persons because
So a
black men
corporate,
become persons
yeah,
in the right to vote before black women. So I don't need a lawyer to
a
interpret
corporate
this. All I have to
entity,
do is look at the documents
a
themselves.
a corporate entity is a person as well. Like, so you'll have,
That's new shit. I know that.
okay,
and
so
but that's new shit
yeah,
because I was discussing this in the Diddy trial because people were saying that he wouldn't been able to be gotten on the conspiracy, the conspiracy because it takes multiple individuals, and I said that's not so because the corporate entity is also considered the person. So even though Diddy was acting on behalf of himself, and then he used the company to do some of these things. The even though it was him, the corporate entity
the
is
liability was a thing.
the corporate entity is a separate legally the corporate entity is a separate person from him, even though it was him.
Right.
And being the fact, what does it take for a RICO charge? A conspiracy conducted. I mean, I'm paraphrasing. It's like a conspiracy amongst several people, right? And people were arguing with me about that, and I was right because if he acts on behalf of Sean Combs, then he acts on, and I'm just gonna mix up some corporations. Then he acts on the behalf of Bad Boy. That's a separate individual, even though it was him. And then if he has another
Right.
corporation that or company that he does like he flies in some male strippers on under another company, now you have your RICO. You have three people, even though they're all him, acting under this. So yeah, we understand that corporate, and that's why they wanted to change it. I was always when they were talking about making corporate entities persons, I wanted to be was against it because I already knew what rich people was trying to do.
Right, exactly. And I think that's the I feel like there was when they're talking about people and rights and what they're allowed or what they're I just feel like there is some kind of gray zone where we're not privy to this language, this verbiage, but not that we can't look it up and define it. It's just like you said,
Well, see, that's
people
where
have
these
limited
Moors come.
liability, and it's
That's where these
oh, go ahead.
Moors come with this term legalese, and you got to have some special kind of knowledge.
Yeah, real red. Do not get caught up. I get it, but legalese is like a legit term for just legal language. That's
Yeah,
all it
but
is. That's all it is.
I mean, okay, so when I've gone to court before, there has been points in time where I needed because I remember something. I was at my hearing for disability. I wanted to rep. I was like, I don't need a lawyer, and the judge was like, Nah, you need somebody to interpret this for me, and I did
Yeah.
because there was, but see, this wasn't like the 14th Amendment, like this was stuff where it was just ridiculous. They were still speaking um like old
Legalese.
English to me. It was like old English. I can't describe it, but yeah, as soon as it started, I was
Yeah, they have a process,
yeah. He was like, and by the
and
proxy, the proximeter, and they're in the fourth party, the right of the individual spoken forth in the second. I was like, who the fuck are we talking about at this point?
are we in the
So
Queen's Court back in England?
yeah,
Where are we?
and this
What
was right
chamber? What
downtown.
chamber am I in?
Yeah. So yeah, you do need, interpretation. I'm glad the judge saw fitter than myself because he was like, yeah, you're going to need this. And so yeah, when they started talking, I was like, whew. I'm glad the judge was smarter than me because I would have never known. They started saying shit. I was like, I don't know what the hell they talking about.
Right, and when I kind of was into like the Moorish thing, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah.
this guy named Cheyenne and Elamir. Remember those
I
guys
can
that
smell. I
like
can
were in the
smell it on you.
courtroom? Stop it, Red. No, but the way that they find loopholes within the law where they are kind of like in a gray zone too, where they can
Who
fuck
does?
around with the court.
Who
Huh?
finds loopholes? Who finds loopholes?
These guys that I'm talking about, this example of these
You
Moors
talking about
in
the
court,
Moors?
right?
You talking about these Moors? You talking about the Moors?
Well, I'm telling you, when I looked them up
No,
and
no,
stuff,
they don't find
and
loopholes. They go to jail. Them boys go to jail.
yeah, but these guys were like in a, how do I put
Have
this?
you ever
It
heard
was
me
like
talk
it
about
was kind
this?
no.
You can go on YouTube right now and spend the rest of your. talking about right now from 7:30 where I'm at. You can spend the rest of your day into this evening and never run out of videos of Moorish people trying that shit in court and going to jail. Your Honor, I am not the person represented in all caps. Get your ass in jail.
Red, I know, bro. I know the fallacy in it, Red. But it is very interesting to see like the people that have been like, okay, so these guys were Native American. They did the Native American thing first, right? They were standing on those rights, but then they saw that wasn't going to work out for them, so they leaned more into the Islam and the Moorish law, and using some treaties, backed by the Moroccan Sultanate and blah blah blah, right? And but it was interesting to see how they had to take into account. And again, while they were doing this, I'm sure they were like reestablishing their paperwork, getting their what is it called when they denaturalize and all this stuff, right? Because they're trying to get out of whatever charges that are pending, right? So they're doing everything up their sleeve. But it's interesting to see how the court has to.
So what you
get
know
through the
about maritime law?
we're in a township, yo, brother. You hear me? You understood? You understand me, brother? We're in the womb. We are in the we're in the birth canal, my brother. You know?
You laugh
We're all
like Barney
birth.
Rubble.
You know the fringes on the flag, my brother?
That is crazy. Have you ever seen these videos though?
Yeah, I have.
I'm telling you, Moors. I'm telling you, they got enough. They got enough video of sovereign citizens going to jail to at least feel. I'm telling you, you can probably watch them for a week straight without missing, without not having a video to watch. I watched this one where one sovereign citizen had another sovereign citizen representing him. He showed up in the camera. The one that was representing him, that was supposed to be his lawyer, and the judge was like, "Are you licensed to practice law anywhere?" And he was like, "The party,
I'm his representative."
Yeah, the party of the representative is not required.
I'm the counsel. What? I'm the counsel. That's what they say.
And then he showed up in the camera because this was a video. Both of them are telephoning in. The sovereign citizen and the sovereign citizen representative. This dude shows up in the video smoking, and he has his pew pew on him in a holster. On the ones you got to slip over your shoulders. And he states, "Yeah, I'm a bounty hunter, an agent of the law, sovereign citizen." I was like, this dude is finna go to jail. This dude is finna go to jail. And the dude he was representing kept saying, "Dude, say something." He was like, "I don't know what to say." And then they're calling each other. They're on camera calling each other. Like, "Hey, what do I say? Hey, just talk to him." He's like, "But you're supposed to be representing me." Dude, you're going to jail for messing around with this Moorish guy.
How do you feel, Rhett? How do you feel about the auditors, though? Do you think that they do some kind of like legit stuff when they have to question, like...
Are you talking about
where they go into the buildings like recording?
Oh no, man! I think that they're legit as fuck, and this is another reason I get mad when people don't know the law. And And I got mad at myself for not knowing the law. I think we as black people, for the most part, not a lot, not everybody, a lot of time we'll bend to the law because that's what we've been taught to do in order to make it home. But it's important that we know the law. When they come up to your house, you do, unless they got a warrant, you ain't got to open the door. You ain't got to let them in. Depending on
Right.
what state you live in, I happen to live in a state that you got to show ID upon request. That's important to know. If you don't, if you're not suspected in a crime, and that crime cannot be articulated, and you live in a state that doesn't require ID,
Right. Right.
you don't have to show your ID. And so it's
So there
important.
is some kind of like awareness about laws, about
Yeah, it's
all
important to know the laws.
that is applicable. You know,
Matter of
that it's
fact,
not
hey
tied to
Siri,
sovereign.
10 o'clock, look up local laws. Remind myself to
So
look it
that
up.
I'm with you on that, you know, and that's what I love about the law. Where you know, I'm battling my landlord, and I just won my appeals case without a lawyer, you know,
Uh-huh.
and I have to after this, I'm taking him to civil court and criminal court because he like lied a bunch of perjury shit and just
Uh-huh.
lied on a bunch of shit.
And I say
So
bravo to you. I say bravo to you because I've had a court case in the past and I let the district attorney punk me.
right,
And this is how and this is why I wish they would do away with plea deal, because you know the prosecution gets credited for a W, whether it's an actual going
right,
to court or, and so they most of their cases are plea bargains, and this is
yeah,
how they bully, especially minorities, but amongst the
yeah, with the
minorities,
public
especially,
defenders too.
yeah,
Yeah,
especially with black men, because they tell you, okay. I mean, there's a big thing, like especially when you start coming to people and say, "You want to go home today? You want to go home today, or you want to take your
yeah.
chance and go home in 8
Plead
years?"
guilty.
Huh?
Yeah, plead guilty or take your chances.
I remember it was a I was in a car accident, right? And I had the stop sign. I looked both ways, and when I come out